a wife, but let me tell you something. Being a wife is making sure you have the soap powder. The wife is making sure you might throw those clothes in the washing machine. Being a wife is not coming to pick up your drawers after you. That is
Amen.
not.
Who said you had to pick up the drawers? That's what said y'all want to go. This is my point here with that.
Yeah.
We always act like that's such a big thing. Like,
I know,
especially for the women. Wait a minute. Especially for the women that got kids. Y'all should be cleaning the house anyway. Y'all should be cooking anyway. So you cook.
Great catch. I'm a great wife. I'm a great this. And it's like that hasn't been validated.
All these single girls of yours too. I don't know.
The one thing that I'm seeing is that when you're dealing with a grown-ass man,
There it is.
he has a vision and a purpose for his life.
Thanks.
What he wants in the future. And what I see is that a lot of these modern women don't want to fall into and play their part in that purpose and in that vision because they have their own purpose and their own vision. I think where a lot of women get it confused. Not showing responsibility to motivate a man.
Right.
A man should have his own motivation, his own direction. Your job is to inspire. It's a complete difference. I think a lot of ladies get a man.
Wife, but let me tell you something. Being a wife is making sure you have the soap powder. The wife is making sure you might throw those clothes in the washing machine. Being a wife is not coming to pick up your drawers after you. That is
Amen.
not.
Who said you had to pick up the drawers? That's what said y'all want to go. This is my point here with that.
Yeah.
We always act like that's such a big thing. Like,
I know,
especially for the women. Wait a minute. Especially for the women that got kids. Y'all should be cleaning the house anyway. Y'all should be cooking anyway. So you cook.
Great catch. I'm a great wife. I'm a great this. And it's like that hasn't been validated.
All these single girls of yours too. I don't know.
The one thing that I'm seeing is that when you're dealing with a grown-ass man,
There it is.
he has a vision and a purpose for his life.
Thanks.
What he wants in the future. And what I see is that a lot of these modern women don't want to fall into and play their part in that purpose and in that vision because they have their own purpose and their own vision. A lot of women get it confused. Not showing responsibility to motivate a man.
Right.
A man should have his own motivation, his own direction. Your job is to inspire. It's a complete difference. I think a lot of ladies get a man.
good? What's good? Welcome back to Kandid Konvos. I'm your host, Quay Price. We got Chloe on deck. We got Vince on deck. Say what's up to the people, y'all.
Hey everybody, happy Wednesday. Click
Happy
that like
Wednesday.
button. Click.
Right, definitely hit that like button for us. Hit that like button for us. Yeah, happy Wednesday. Welcome back. So y'all know how this go. We miss a day and everybody be on our head. Hey man, somebody tell me we need to do more videos. They say Wednesday ain't once a week ain't enough. They say they want more videos. So that's how y'all do us when we take a little day off around here. But we back again on the show. Another hot topic, some more hot videos, some more great conversation. But shout out to y'all. I said drop a comment, let us know where you representing from. Also hit that like button if you haven't already. Hit that like button. Also hit that share. I said we want to get this out to as many of our people as possible. Shout out to my YouTube gang in the building. Shout out to my Facebook gang in the building. Let me see what we got checking in early in the day. See Eva Wright in the building. She said, hello, happy Wednesday. What's going on, Eva Wright? Appreciate you joining us tonight, holding us down. See, shout out to my guy, J.U. Griffin in the building. He said, much love, respect, and blessings to everyone. Appreciate that, J.U. Griffin, holding us down, holding down YouTube. Appreciate that. Let's see. Kenyatta, she said, happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday to you, sis. Appreciate you joining us tonight as well. Oh, Diamond right there with you. What up, though? Pray for Dick. Man, wait a minute. Hold on.
Do y'all ever be wondering if some prayers don't even go as far as the ceiling? Y'all be wondering that sometimes? Like, which prayers are those prayers that the Bible says just don't do it? Don't pray for the people. Like, don't you be wondering? Like, which ones? Because there's biblical principle. Like, you know, some prayers don't pray for them people. But I don't know, you know.
Yeah, Donovan, we gonna, you know what, we're gonna leave that alone, man. As soon as I seen all that baby oil, we gonna leave that. You know what? Yeah, we're gonna leave that alone, man. We might come back to that on another show, man.
And what they gonna do with all that baby oil?
Well, you know what? I heard a rumor. So I heard a rumor. So I heard the rumor that the baby oil might not actually be baby oil. So I heard it's a rumor that there's another substance in them bottles outside of baby oil, and baby oil is just the camouflage, if you will. But that's a whole nother show. We ain't gonna do all that right now. Leslie Donovan said, "LOL, yeah, man. Yeah, we're gonna leave that. We're gonna leave that right there. We'll let that do what it's gonna do." All right. Appreciate y'all joining us. I said once again, if you haven't already, hit that like button for us. Hit that like button for us. Okay. See, we got JR just hopped on as well. What's going on, JR? You good, man?
Hello, everybody.
What's going on, man? You all right?
Yeah, I'm all good, thanks. How are you not getting on?
You doing well, man. What's the weather doing over there, man?
Oh, no, it's been pretty bad. A lot of rain. So, yeah, just been indoors.
You know what, man? You said you in London. You say you're in London, right?
Well, not necessarily London, but I'm in by Birmingham.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like the second city, yeah.
Okay. The way you talk about that weather, man, make me not want to come over there, man.
I wouldn't really recommend it.
That's honest, man. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
You know what? Italy it is. Oh man, all right, cool, man. We just getting going, man. Let me get some more of these comments. Donovan said, "Ain't the loop, man." Let me, man. I ain't about to do it with you, Donovan. I ain't about to do it, man. Steve Wright said, "I'd rather say my prayers for people not to test my patience." Oh man, shout out to Eva Wright. She said they testing patience out here. Now we don't want that going on, Eva Wright. Be easy on them. Be easy on them. All right, so let me do this real quick as we get into the conversation. So here's a link to join us on the panel. You can drop this in your Google Chrome, your Microsoft Edge. If you're coming to an Apple device, you got to use Safari. But yeah, drop this in your browser. Join us on the panel if you ain't scared. Like I said, we got to get more faces up on the panel. Yeah, better yet, I got to get y'all on the panel. I'll let you keep the camera off just to be nice. Yeah, we got to get more of y'all on the panel. In addition to the video feed, this link is also in all of the chat feeds as well. So you can catch it at the Kandid Konvos page on YouTube or Facebook, or you can shoot us a message. We'll get it to you that way as well. So we'll lead this up here a little bit as we get into the conversation. Okay, so we got a couple videos tonight that came over. I got videos from a couple folks on here. I think Vince got one in here. Eva Wright got one in here. So yeah, we're gonna get on into it. Topic for tonight. Can you handle an intentional man? Let me run that back. Topic for tonight. Can you handle an intentional man? All right, so we'll drop this link down for a minute. We're gonna get on into this conversation. Is that Tamando? What's going on with you, man? Come off mute real quick, man. Come off mute, man. You see it? You just had it. Hit it again. There you go.
Good afternoon.
What's going on? Nothing much. We chilling, man. What's up with you, man?
Nothing, man. Y'all looking good as ever. My one of my favorite couples.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. You know we do what we do, man. How you been, man?
I'm fine. I'm with the missus tonight.
Hello, everybody.
Okay. How you doing, missus? How you doing?
I'm doing good. How about you?
Doing well, doing well. Now we appreciate y'all hopping on with us tonight. Let's say we just getting started. So yeah, just hold tight. We about to kick off this first video. All right, cool. All right, so let me run that title back one more time. Let's see. Can you handle an intentional man? Okay, so yeah, so y'all sent over 2 videos around intention. So yeah, we got one comes from the Pop the Balloon series. That's video number 1. We got another one that Vince sent over. And then we got a little curveball at the end we're going to hold on to the end. So let's go on and we're going to get on into this.
To my channel, it's your host Arlette, and we are here today with Jeremiah and Shayna. Welcome, y'all. How we feeling?
Feeling good.
Feeling good. Okay. We got big old smiles. I like that.
And just so y'all know, so yeah, I'm gonna run this video. I said if y'all hear something, see something ain't sounding right, you got questions, something you want to point out, just stop me and we'll pause it right there.
I like that. So we had you all on episode 19 of Pop the Balloon or Find Love, where you guys ended up matching. Okay, so is it gonna be a yes for you for yes? And is it a yes for you for her?
Of course. 100%.
We got a match. I'll take this, and you guys can go on up. Let's give it up for them, y'all. All right. So obviously on your episode of episode 19, people had quite a lot to say, as we saw in the comments. Shayna, we'll start with you. So a lot of the comments, they were all calling you purple dress, by the way. Everybody was
I
like,
was
purple
wearing
dress,
pink.
purple dress.
I was wearing pink.
For some reason it looked purple a little bit. Yeah, so everybody's like, purple dress, doesn't want to take accountability, and whatever it may be. How did you feel about reading those comments and talk us through the moment when you were in there getting asked these questions and whatever it was?
Okay, so when I came to set, I honestly didn't think I was going to match with anyone. Mm-hmm. I walked on set and I seen all these gorgeous women there. Episode 19, I'm not sure if y'all remember the line.
Let me catch that right there. So the young lady said when she came to the show, she didn't think she was going to match with anybody. Why is that? Why is that the mentality that we see today? Yeah, if you're going on a dating show, why are you going on a dating show already in the mindset that you're probably not going to match with nobody? Like, why are you not going on a dating show to find your guy or to find your girl or to, what we like to say, secure the bag? Like, why are you going on a dating show already in your mind telling yourself that you ain't going to match with somebody? Yeah, that's crazy work. Let me keep going.
But these girls were gorgeous.
Yes, they were.
So I said, I'll just come for the experience. I'll come and have fun. If you guys remember the episode, I was laughing and giggling the whole time. And I was asked a few questions, and which I didn't answer. And honestly, watching that episode and reading the comments, they were brutal. But I do understand why so many people are upset. That I do understand. Coming from my point of view, which is something I learned major being on the show, and I was speaking to Jeremiah about it, is I live like a private life for the most part.
And one of my biggest mistakes was coming on a public show trying to be so private. And I learned major, that was a big no.
Yeah.
Which is why I didn't answer some of the questions. If I could go back and redo it, which I can't, it's already done.
Right, exactly.
But growing from this experience, I would have answered. Even if I didn't want to, I should have given an explanation.
Okay.
So I did learn that. And after the show, when I was reading the comments, I did call Jeremiah. And I said, do you want me to answer the question? Which he did say yes to. And I said, the show apart, let's put the show aside, just me and you. Do you want to know the answer to this question that he had asked? Because he had asked me something that I did wrong and something that my ex did wrong in our past relationship. And I did answer the question to Jeremiah. So,
okay.
Yeah. I really didn't feel so safe in a space full of strangers to let that part of me out. And what I could have told Jeremiah was, we can have this conversation off camera, which we did, know? So I learned from that experience that if you're going to go on this show and you think you live a private life, don't do it. Or don't come on this show and not answer questions.
Try to be private,
people will come for you. And people said so much like, I've cheated in the past, which I never have, or I don't take accountability, which I do take a lot of accountability. And I have people in my circle who do keep me accountable too,
That's good.
So I am an accountable person, but I can say my biggest mistake, one of the few that I made on the show, was not answering that, and I should have answered it. And one more thing that I did do wrong, which I told Jeremiah too, is I shouldn't have popped. I should have given him the opportunity, if I didn't answer the question, to pop, because I popped before, as soon as he answered the question. So I know I said a lot. So I grew from the experience. I've learned a lot. So yeah.
Okay, that's good. So look at that, y'all. She's taking accountability now. She came out right out the gate, ready to take accountability. They can't come for you now. We'll see. We don't know about the internet. We never know. So Jeremiah,
yes.
Obviously, like she said, she ended up popping on you initially.
Right.
However, that didn't deter you. When she got that balloon back, you were still ready to match. Why so?
Yeah. So I believe in second chances sometimes.
Okay.
But I saw Shayna. I'm like, wow, she's very beautiful, and I'm like, let me just give her a second chance. You never know.
Exactly.
Because when you give a second chance to some people, they end up surprising you and end up being the one. But we can kind of speak on how things went after the fact.
Okay, well, that's a good segue. Yeah. Let's jump right into it then. So, since you guys ended up matching, have you gone on a date? Have you hung out?
Kind of.
Uh-oh. Tell me about it.
So after the show, we, us and Julius and JoJo, we all went on a double date. I think they may have mentioned it.
They did.
In the past follow-up show. So after that, we had a very good night. It was very fun at the hookah lounge. After that,
no hookah was done.
Yeah, I was like, wait, why are we at a hookah lounge and we're not smoking hookah? But after the hookah lounge and after the show, we talked here and there, we texted here and there, but honestly, I don't know if you want me to say anything, but at the end of it, we were like, maybe things didn't work out the way that they were supposed to be. But in the end, we ended up being very amicable.
Okay.
And we are still single.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so Shayna, what happened?
Do y'all notice a difference between the two of them? Like just and the way he moved and the way she moved. Like, do y'all notice a difference between the two of them?
Well, he's definitely much more mature about it. Also, I feel like I would agree with, I think it was Kenyatta. I would agree that I don't see the confidence either. Like the fact that she compared herself to the women when she got there and said, "Oh, they're beautiful. I don't believe I'm going to get chosen." So you looked at these other women, and because they were attractive to you, by the way, the man is choosing, you're not choosing. So that's kind of crazy. But she looked at them and instantly said, well, I'm probably not going to match. So I'm just going to have fun. Right. So you're not taking it seriously. You're just here to have fun. You've already counted yourself out. And so now every time a guy comes along, are you going to put in the same amount of effort because you feel like you're not going to match anyway? I'm just going to have fun with it. And the fact that she didn't really want to ask questions, some of the questions that the men asked were really good questions, and they were questions for them to gauge character. And every one of those types of questions that were asked, she refused to answer. So just off rip, I already know that he obviously is someone who took it more seriously and who was more intentional about why he came to the show.
Right.
And I don't believe her that she's this accountable person. I don't believe it. I think she, you know, like Eva said, she's just trying to save face. I think this is really just because it's damage control, because people got in her behind, because she showed herself.
Right.
That's what I think.
Let me get this comment real quick. See, Donovan said, let's see, an intentional male doesn't stand a chance when the woman in question has her own hidden agendas. I say hidden because I've seen this game played out where the woman hears the man agrees to what he's putting on the table in the beginning. Once she figures she's locked him in, then she begins her manipulative tactics. Okay. I appreciate that comment right there, Donovan. Appreciate that comment right there. Let's see. Eva Wright said that's probably her reason for even entertaining him. Period. Having fun. Yeah, some of that is probably wrapped up in the Eva Wright, because I said I definitely see a difference between the two of them. The way he talking and the way she talking sound totally different. But let me keep going. See, Kenyatta said, let's see. He can see through her. Yeah, I think he can. Yeah, I think he can. For sure. Let me keep going.
And okay, so to kind of repeat what he said, so once we left the show, we went on a double date with Julius and JoJo. Shout out to them. I saw that they're doing great. We had an incredible night. I'm glad I didn't match with Jeremiah that night. You know, we were just giggling the whole night, and then we ended up that night. I'm not sure if you remembered. We had watched a previous episode of Pop the Balloon in the car, and we were like, "This is how people are gonna like roast us," you know. So we did have a good first date, but after our first date, we kind of fizzled out a little bit. I still think very highly of Jeremiah, but we just didn't work out. I live on the East Coast. He lives on the West Coast, which I think is kind of a big reason why we didn't work out as much too.
Okay.
There's a few other things, but one of the main reasons, in my opinion.
So initially when we matched, she said that she lived in Florida, and I was initially okay with that because I'm like, okay, we can kind of work something out. Yeah. I can book a flight, go see her. She can book a flight and come see me. But as things went on, I'm like, okay. Really not feeling that the spark wasn't there, to be honest with you.
Okay. So, and this was how soon after you?
This was about maybe like a week ago.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
Oh boy.
Jump right in.
You want to go first?
I can go first.
Go ahead.
So since we stayed, it was going to be long distance. One of the reasons that, in my opinion, I know Jeremiah said he didn't feel a spark, you know, which I respect. You know, I still think he's very attractive. I know he thinks the same about me. But it was Jeremiah's lack of communication. I barely heard from Jeremiah after the show. You know, he would text me here and there. And one thing I do appreciate about him is he knew I got a lot of backlash from our episode, and he was texting me to check up on me. I do appreciate you doing that. But other than that, there was really no communication between us, like no calls, no FaceTime. So it kind of just let me know that he wasn't really interested. And that's how I took it. So yeah.
Like would you like message him and you wouldn't hear anything back, or?
No, he would text me back, or he would text me, or I would text him. But it was very like short conversations. Like it wasn't really getting to know me, or it was just like, hey, how are you kind of thing. And that was it. Like it was nothing. Like we had 2 phone conversations. I was telling to BM, which is your husband. Yeah. We had 2 phone conversations since the show, and I'm the one who initiated both of the conversations. So, you know, his actions just showed a lot that he wasn't like, you know, it's not something he was feeling, which, you know, I was fine with. I told him after the show, you know, if this is something you want to pursue, just let me know. If not, let me know too. I'm cool either way. So yeah, his action just told me that he really wasn't interested, and I was fine with that. So yeah.
Okay.
Interesting. That's very interesting.
What's your perspective on it?
So we did have a conversation offline about the distance and me trying to come out to go see her. We had a conversation about me just flying out, and when I was actually in the process of booking a flight to go see Shayna, she said no.
I did say no.
So when I
So how soon after the show, after you guys matched, when was this?
This was about a week after the show.
Oh.
It wasn't a week after the show.
Okay, a week and 2 days.
No, it was probably 3 weeks after the show. It was when BM reached out to me to do our catch-up episode, and I reached out to you and said, hey, BM wants to do our catch-up. You're like, well, I haven't even gotten a chance to get to know you. Let me come out to Florida. And that's when I said, you know, I would much rather you have gotten to know me first, you know, through call, through text, you know, than for you just to fly to Florida. Because what if we weren't even compatible, you know? So that's why I didn't say no.
Stop the cap.
Man, she lying. She is lying.
Y'all think she
Yeah.
lying?
Wait a
Well,
minute.
yes. I think what I mean by she's lying, I mean she's misrepresenting her intentions behind why she didn't want him to come. She didn't want him to come because she's just not that interested in him. It wasn't because of the communication. Because you know, I did get a chance to watch the whole episode, and it didn't feel like that, because he's saying, I want to come and see you. I want to come and see you because I want to see you in your element. And she's saying, well, no, I want to talk to you on the phone first. And yeah, okay, so we have a difference of communication styles. We have a different approach to it. But if I'm intentional and you're intentional, then what do we need to do to make this work? It's going to be a long distance relationship. So what do we need to do to make this work? She's saying he would respond to her text messages, he would respond to her calls, but the conversations would be short. Okay, so now he's saying, well, let me come to you and actually take the chance to get to know you, where we're not having these short clipped conversations through text and through FaceTime. And she's like, well, no, I want to talk to you over the phone. The thing is, you can give a whole lot of representative over the phone. You can give a whole lot of whatever you want to say, whatever you don't want to say. I can't see your face. Sometimes I can. I can't read your body language. I don't get to meet your friends. I don't get to see you in your element. Low key, I don't get to see where, you know, maybe where you live, type of environment you live in, how you roll, like. Well, I don't get to see any of those things that I would see if we were both living in the same city, right? So I think it's reasonable for him to say, let me come to you, especially if he's making the initial investment and he's not asking her to do anything, but just be available.
I don't disagree. I don't disagree with that, except he didn't deny this one point that she made, which was he seemingly wanted to play catch up, perhaps towards the tail end when they were asked to do this catch up 1 week before they sat down and did this interview. So for whatever reason, I guess it appears he wanted to hurry up and make things happen. Now, whether or not he attempted to meet her prior flying out, we don't know, because I also watched the episode and he didn't mention, and that's something I think it would be important to mention, is that, well, I haven't not only tried to reach out to you 1 week before we sat down here, but I've also tried to do so within the first week, the first 2 weeks, the first 3 weeks. So after she said that, well, you only tried to make this flying out to me attempt, like kind of like crunch time, you know, like a Hail Mary pass. He did not deny that. So we don't know if he did, if he forgot to mention it, if it did happen. So no one really knows if. I mean, I don't know. If I heard something like that, I would correct her and say, well, actually, I did try to fly out to you much sooner than before. But what she's claiming is that, well, he wanted to do so long after they stopped talking, and it was kind of odd to
She
bring
didn't
up
say
on
they had
me.
stopped talking though, did she?
Yeah.
She said they were communicating over phone. They were just short clipped messages.
It was something like 2 times, and then 2-3 weeks passed, and only within the last week before they sat down here, did he reach out and say, I want to fly out. But you have to imagine 2-3 weeks prior, it was basically ghost silence, and texting don't count for anything. Hey, what's up? You know, and it's not even a full text. It's like, you know what I'm saying?
Joe, right there. So what you just said. So see, that's part of the issue. You
I'm
just
glad you
said that
caught that.
texting. I'm glad you said that. You just said texting don't count for anything.
Not
So
much.
see, that's a valid point. So see, that's how the brother is looking at it as well. That's why he's saying that he had already asked her to come out, to fly out to see her in person so that they could get to know each other. But essentially, she was blowing him off on that. She didn't want him to fly out. She just wanted to sit there and play with him over text and over FaceTimes. So it wasn't really a crunch time situation. She essentially reached out to him after BM reached out to her to do their catch-up show. And then his response to her was, well, damn, I ain't even got a chance to know you like that yet. I still ain't got a chance to see you in person since we linked up after the show. So yeah, to your point, Joe, that's a valid point that you just made. And once again, we know that you can't really get to know somebody over text and FaceTime. Yeah, you're going to need to put hands on somebody at some point. We're going to need to sit down and have a dinner. I'm going to need to come meet your mama. Like, we got to have some physical interaction for me to really get a chance to talk to you, get into your mind, see what you're really about, see how you moving, see what your day-to-day look like. I can't do that over no text message. So I'm glad you said that, Joe. That's a valid point.
I also wanted to call out that, like, I think we have to understand that these shows happen very quickly. So she's saying it was 3 weeks after they were on the show that he tried to fly to her, right? So they went on the show, and then 3 weeks later he says, wait, so it's 3 weeks, and the producer is already reaching out to say, let's do a catch-up show. And he's like, wait, I haven't. We're saying long, like, when you both live in two different cities, maybe if they lived in the same city, then yes, 3 weeks is a long time for us to go without having really gotten together. But being that you live on one coast and I live on another, is 3 weeks a long time for us not to have gotten together? You get what I'm saying? Like, 3 weeks is not really that long if I live on one coast and you live on the other. But if we live in the same city and it's been 3 weeks and we ain't tried to connect, that's a red flag. So I feel you saying why 3 weeks, but that's still kind of quick considering I got to take a flight to come to you. That's still quick. Like, I met you 3 weeks ago and I'm already taking a flight to come to you. So I just want to kind of, I know we in this show thing, but like, just being realistic, that's not really that long. That's not that long of a time. But of course, this is content. So the producer's going to reach out to her after 3 weeks because it's fresh content. But is 3 weeks really a long time for him to say, okay, wait, I ain't even had a chance? It's reasonable that we met 3 weeks ago and I haven't flown to you on another coast to see you face to face. Like, I don't think that that's an unreasonable situation, considering this takes planning and it takes a different level of effort than me calling you up saying, hey, let's go hang out. Hey, let's go here. Hey, let's go do that. It's a different level of effort and it takes more planning to be able to do that.
I agree.
Let me let Vince get in. I know Vince been trying to get in. Go ahead, Vince. It's on you, man. Come off mute.
I think I totally disagree with y'all. I think he's the one not being intentional. Because the one thing that a woman wants is consistency from the beginning.
Okay.
If he was into her, if he was busy, he could have called, hey, babe, I'm about to leave work. I was just thinking about you. I'm going to call you when I get home. Hey, babe, I'm going to the gym. I'm going to call you when I get from the gym, because since it is long distance, then he should have been more intentional with talking to her. And I wouldn't want nobody to fly out either. Don't waste your money. A week before. Now, if it was a week, okay, but she said 3 weeks. 3 weeks is a long time. Because then I know a lot of these young guys, they are not intentional. They want to, they don't really communicate very well. They do their thing. So, maybe it just wasn't a love connection. But I agree with her. You wait for 3 weeks and now you want to come out because you want to be on the show? No. Because if you liked me, you would have liked me from the beginning. And that's what my wife said about me. She said, I was intentional from the beginning. I talked to her every single day. I told her when I was going to sleep. I told her when I was going to work. I told her when I was going to the gym. Because I want you to know I'm intentional. I want you. And that's the thing that she loved about me. She's like, I was intentional from the very beginning.
So you saying So you saying that this guy wanting to invest the money to take the flight to see this young lady in person. You saying that that's not intentional because he wasn't talking to her every day? Is that
I
what y'all
think he
saying?
just wanted to be back on the show.
No,
Well,
but
he
I'm
was
saying
gonna
he
be on the
wasn't.
show
Somebody for
regardless.
3 weeks, you're not interested.
He was gonna be on
You're
the
not
show
interested.
regardless.
But no, that's not. So that's not how that went. So my man had already engaged her on coming out to see her. She had told him no. Then she reached out to him. She reached out to him after the producer BM reached out to her and said he want them to come back for a follow-up show. That's when my man said, well, wait a minute. I ain't got a chance to even kick it with you yet. So wait a minute. I need to come see you real quick if we got to go do the follow-up show. So that's not the first time that he had talked to her because he had already said they had already had a conversation about it.
Yeah.
That's not the first time that he had talked to her about flying out to see her.
Well, I don't get no good vibe from them anyway. So maybe it just
Neither
wasn't a
one
love
of them.
connection anyway. You know what I'm saying? I don't get no good vibe from them.
Okay, let me keep going. Let me keep going.
Like, it's a no, do not come and see me. It was a no, I'd rather you have gotten the time to know me first, which I feel like you really didn't do.
Yeah, no, I really get that. So the way that I think that you get to kind of know a person a little bit better is to actually see them in person, see them in the flesh.
Okay.
Right? To see that look at their body language, look at how they're speaking, and you actually get to see the physical person. And even if things didn't work out, I can go to Disney World. It's in Orlando.
And I understand that, Jeremiah, but still, no effort was put in at all prior to you saying, hey, I want to come see you. You know, if we were to do this, we were going to be long distance regardless. So call and text and FaceTime was all we had. And you didn't even give that to me. So when you said, hey, I want to come see you, I was like, come see me for what? This man has not showed interest for the past few weeks. And now all of a sudden he wants to hop on a plane and come to Florida. So that's why I said no.
So wanting to go see someone in person is quite literally the action of trying to get to know them. I'm more of an in-person person. Texting, calling, FaceTiming is okay, but I'd rather see you in the flesh. I'd rather be able to hug you in person, really get to know you, and possibly meet your friends. But you really can't do a lot of that over texting and calling. Okay. So that was my point. I'm trying to come this here.
Have you ever had a long distance relationship or fling, whatever it is, beforehand?
Yeah, yes, I have.
Okay.
And it's been a consistent, like, me coming out there, that person coming out to wherever I'm at. And it worked out for quite a long time. But eventually there comes a point where one person or the other has to eventually relocate to the same city as the other person. And those past relationships didn't reach that point.
Okay. So now between the visits where you would go over there or they would come to you, how was the communication?
Oh, it was excellent.
Oh.
So after the initial visit, I typically can kind of gauge a person, whether that's going to be a potential relationship or not. So the purpose of a physical trip is twofold. So it's to get to know the person and then figure out if this person could be a potential relationship in the future.
Okay, so it sounds like you guys have like different ways of how you want to start off a relationship.
Yeah, and we didn't both realize that until we were both like, yeah, no. You know, it's speaking to him after the fact. He's like, this is what I want to do. Well, I'm like, I prefer you gotten to know me first, you know, because if we're long distance, all we have is call, text, and FaceTime. And he's like, no, I want to see you. And so, you know.
Okay, I see.
Yeah.
And then so did you guys ever have this conversation before, or it was just kind of like, that's it, we're done?
Wow, she looks at me like that. So we kind of had this type of conversation, but it was nothing that was like set in stone to where like, okay, this is how you like to know a person. This is how I like to know a person. Let's see if there is some way we can meet in the middle to where we can kind of compromise and make it work on both ends.
Okay. Which we should have done.
Yeah, for
sure.
And
that's failure on both of our ends that we kind of didn't communicate how we wanted to do that. You know, so I think we both dropped the ball on that aspect.
Taking accountability for that.
Yeah.
Look at you, just all accountability today.
I know the word accountability is plastered on my head.
Man. Okay. All right, guys. So where are we today? What's going on? Is he booking a flight?
He is not.
Oh, no. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We both agreed to just let this be what it was. I appreciate meeting Jeremiah, the whole experience. Although it was kind of tough, but he's a great guy. I have nothing bad to say about him to this day. So yeah.
Yeah, no, Shayna is a very beautiful woman.
Not the cat.
She has perfect wifey traits, guys. And
I do like this.
and if you're in the Florida area, definitely check her out.
Okay.
But overall, she's a great woman. She has been great through this process. And
Man,
Yeah, he's just not that into her either.
Just say she whack, bro.
So he ain't
Just say.
But, hey y'all, that's a red flag. He said he's been in a couple long distance relationships. And maybe he doesn't want that everyday thing.
What you mean by that, man?
Maybe he just want to fly in, fly out, do his thing, come back to the city. Because if you had one, it shouldn't have been anymore because you understood it didn't work, just like Donovan said. You can't have multiple long distance relationships. You know it's not going to work because, first of all, he's not going to move anywhere. See, they said, well, one has to move. So if you know that, then why do you keep going and getting into the same type of relationship? If he would have said I had one and it didn't work and I knew it wasn't for me, he said he's had a couple. And I know guys, they don't want that every day. I want to call you, we want to go. I want to do my thing, and then I hook up with you every couple months. Then I come back, do my thing. There's guys out here that's like that, Quay. They don't want no committed everyday relationship. They want to do their thing. I see you when I see you.
I don't think that applies to him though.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't
I
read
think
it.
it definitely does.
I mean, he's a travel plus just he ended up going
Right.
going on to say that he's a travel vlogger too. So like he travels, like this is kind of what he does. And I did check out his page. He's legit. He literally does travel from place to place as like a kind of like a side thing. So I think he likes to travel. So I would imagine he probably meets women when he travels, maybe. And that's why he has the whole long distance thing. I'm making a lot of assumptions here, guys, but he legitimately does travel a lot. So that could be something to that. I don't know. But I just think in this case, he wasn't that interested in her.
Well, you right said hello, Jacob. Wait, what? I'm gonna leave that right there, Eva. I'm gonna leave that right there.
I'm sorry, Joe. What was you saying?
Go ahead,
I'm just
Joe.
saying they have two totally different lifestyles. I didn't know that, what you just said. That's his, so it makes sense. The way that this is the way I communicate. Literally, I just fly to wherever you are. That's just his way of life. That's his mindset. He's accustomed to it. But most people aren't like that. Most people are not travel bloggers. Most people are not jet setters. So they were going to clash regardless. He needs to find a woman who equally loves to travel as much as he does and or has a similar lifestyle to what he does. But most people are not going to be that way. So it's going to be drawing to her to say, hey, I'm just going to fly out to you. And it's like, who's this strange guy who doesn't even want to talk to me on the phone for any period of time, suddenly wants to pop up at where I live, who I barely know and I met for a couple of minutes on the TV show. So from her perspective, I totally understand why she would want some sort of like pre-game situation. He wants to jump into the game. He said, school practice. I just want to play the Super Bowl. That's how she's like, wait, what about preseason? What about, like warming up? So two totally different styles of people. He's like a go, go, go type of guy. I'm used to things going fast at a certain pace. And she's like, slow down. So they're just two totally different people. And opposites sometimes don't attract. So that's just the way
So
it is.
wait.
These are good people.
Hold on, Joe. Let me put you on the spot. So you telling me you coming to a little female. Let's just say she's staying Chicago. Okay. So you telling me, Joe, you gonna be sitting here texting and FaceTiming her versus hopping on 94 West and running out to see old girl? I'm not saying you got to stay at her house. You can grab a hotel, but you telling me you about to be FaceTiming, texting her, and you can run out here and see her? Is that what you telling me, man?
You know what? That scenario, first of all, Chicago is like right up the street for us. So you know that.
You can't make this shit up. You can't make this shit up.
That's not Vegas to Florida.
Y'all heard it.
That's a totally different thing. That's a 4 or 5 hour flight. It's different. That's a 1 hour drive. So yeah, of course I would say it would be easy. You try to trip me up. No, you ain't gonna give me the. If she was in California, I would be like, yeah, of course. I would talk. There's actually a girl in Texas who's near where my auntie's at in Dallas Fort Worth. She's in Austin. I'm talking to her casually, but there's sort of like me getting to know her. And I don't think it's wrong with that. I think it becomes a problem if it becomes like either one of us become reliant on that type of communication long distance, and we never eventually come to meet. There has to be like a boiling point. And if usually it's the man who has to make that leap. If he's not willing to make that leap after, say, maybe several conversations, it doesn't have to be a lot. It doesn't have to last for months. But after a certain point, it's like, okay, this is now we have to see each other. It's like you just kind of feel when that happens. And that comes at a certain point when you have enough conversations, you realize, okay, I think I might like her. Now, there's no guarantee that y'all gonna click when you meet her. So there's part of that part where I'm thinking in his head, he's might thinking, well, dang, if I spend all this time talking to her, what if we don't click? We don't have that chemistry physically. Like we might get along by phone and conversation, all this, but what if? So I get his mindset, but at the same time, it's kind of like it can go both ways. You could be jumping the gun, she's not comfortable, or he's not being patient enough for her to eventually be like, okay, I'm ready for you to come see me. She's saying that he barely called her. Yeah, I mean, listen, it just don't work. It just long distance. I don't even do it. I tried it. I don't know why he's doing it again. I don't even care for the show concept is that everyone's coming from different parts of the country, coming to I think somewhere in what is it, Texas or something
Arizona.
like that?
Arizona.
So they're flying from different parts of the so everyone's long distance who's coming and meeting on that show, even if they match up. The only one that really succeeded that I saw was the Julius and JoJo one, which is the people that they connected with. But he's making a lot. He's a truck driver, so it's like that is an exception to the rule. He can go and make those kind of moves, but that's not the situation for most people. Find the people in your damn city. How about that?
No, I get it. I have to hold the fellas accountable because at the end of the day, so let me translate. Sometimes a young lady will say, "Oh, he don't be calling," and that's just because he ain't calling her two, 3 times a day. Most dudes ain't doing that. So let's just keep it honest. But at the end of the day, men, the one thing I know about us men are we are very territorial. Yeah, but if this young lady is in another geographic location or geographical location, however you want to say it, we're gonna be trying to go check up and see what's going on physically in person. So we ain't about to be FaceTiming you all day long and texting with you all day long. That's cute, but at some point, we're gonna want to make a physical touchdown, see what she got going on, where she's staying at, who around her. Like my man said, possibly meet her friends and see what her surroundings look like, because that's gonna tell you a lot about that woman, from the male perspective. So I'm just trying to keep us honest out here with this. We know we're gonna want to go check up on it at some point. We're gonna keep it a buck. Go ahead, Vince. I saw you come off, man.
But her thing is also that a lot of our relationship is going to be on the phone. So if we don't establish that from the beginning, if we just, waiting for us to see each other, then it's not going to last anyway. So her thing was, this is going to be most of our relationship anyway.
She's right.
Because I don't know how far they are from each other. I know she was in Florida. Where was he?
He was in I think he's in Cali. They on basically on other coasts.
Okay, so that's not a cheap flight. I mean, I ain't counting his pockets, but it ain't, you know what I'm saying? So I just think that's just his lifestyle. He a jet setter. He probably dealt with women that had a lot to do, and they were busy too. So we get together when we get together. And ain't nothing wrong with that. I just think they just had a difference of lifestyles, and it just didn't mesh.
Okay, I feel that right there. Yeah, I feel that right there. And I think, like I said, just kind of going back to the title, can you handle an intentional man? I think we have to include all of the pieces. Yeah, we have to include, the man going on the show, looking for a significant, looking for a woman, looking for somebody to match with, you know what I'm saying, trying to make his flights to see you in person. Then we got to listen to the young lady. She going on the show. I'm probably not gonna match with nobody. So basically, I'm just gonna go have fun. Not wanting to answer the questions. There's just a difference. If there's an obvious difference in how you going about getting to what you say you want. Yeah, but that's why I said that was one of the things I identified early in this video. They sound totally different. Yep, their actions are totally different. Yep, and at the end of the day, if you're taking yourself onto a dating show to find somebody, then there's got to be more effort. There's got to be more intentionality. It shouldn't just be, oh, well, I'm probably going to go on here and not find nobody. It's like you're already shooting yourself in the foot. Your mindset is already wrong. Yeah, your mindset is already wrong. We can't approach nothing like that in life. Yeah, because we already know it ain't gonna go right. So if that's what you thinking and that's how you moving, going on to a show where your possible husband may be on the show, you definitely got to be looking at that situation differently as you approach it. But
You know,
let me
crazy part is,
go
I
ahead, Joe.
found
Then I'm
that
gonna go
that
take us to the next one. Go ahead.
I found that this show doesn't pay for their expenses to come out from wherever they are to that location. So for her to say they're just having fun, or she's just like not taking it serious, it's almost like she wants it, she's looking for someone, but she doesn't want to be disappointed. So that's her way of kind of guarding her heart, herself, her emotions. She doesn't want to be hurt. She doesn't want to. So it's kind of like, I'm serious. She made the commitment. Oh shit, I'm already here. Oh well, let's just like whatever happens, happens. And so this is the outcome, is that whatever happened just happened, and that's nothing. And that was her mindset from the beginning. So she played a role in this too. She was kind of like blasé about it, but she was also wanting to do it. They're paying for their own. His flights is crazy. Wherever they're coming from, they're paying for all of that. Hotel, lodging, flights. The show is not compensating them for that. And I thought that was crazy. I said, well, you have to, just by the action itself, you have to be intentional. So she's either capping, or that's her way of guarding herself from potential hurt. And we can see it. Her attitude is like, well, I kind of figured it wasn't going to happen, and I was just there for fun, ha ha ha. But you just wasted all that money and time just to say you was having fun. Hmm. I mean, that's unfortunate for her. And that's just her mindset. He's kind of like, he can't win against that. So if you were to do the compare and contrast to the couple that they were across the table from when they went to this date, this double date, Julius and JoJo, if you played that video, you can see an example of an intentional man and a woman who is receptive to it. It's like a night and day difference between the two. It's crazy. They both were on a double date, but they also did a catch up with the other couple, and it's like wow, this is what it looks like. So I mean, I don't know if you have that in queue. I don't know if you played it before.
I'll have it
But
queued up,
I
man.
think oh man, it's a good one. It's a good
All
one.
right, that's good to know. I'm gonna have to go ahead and pull that for the next run. But let me ask this question, then I'm gonna take us to the next video. So I got a question for the ladies real quick, just based on that video right there. So ladies, if you were or just had met a man, keep it a buck, would you have an issue with him flying out to see you? Yeah, keep it a buck. Would you have an issue with him flying out to see you? So if you just met this man recently and he was like, okay, you know what I'm saying? I'm feeling you. I want to come see you. Yeah, would you have an issue with him doing that, or would you try to slow that down? Yep, and keep it at arm's length, if you will. So ladies, drop a comment, let me know where y'all stand on that. Go ahead, Chloe.
No, come on, because I don't even really want to be. I don't want to have any emotional mental connection with you if the vibe ain't right.
Okay.
I don't want to do that because I don't want to get invested. Like I don't want us to be having the long, the first I'm just meeting you long conversations where we're up on the phone talking all night and having great conversations and this, that, and the third. And that's great. Like obviously there's something we have in common. We have a rapport with each other, and that's great. But then I meet you in person after we've been on the phone talking for 3 weeks. And I meet you in person, and I'm like, wait, it was cool. The phone conversations are great, but now we face to face and the vibe is not there. Or we're not clicking. And when I say physically, I'm not even talking about the intimacy. I'm talking about not that level, not physical intimacy. I'm just talking about the intimacy of us, our energy and how we interact. And it's awkward, and it's not on the phone. We're great, but then in person, like we can't even. It's like we can't vibe. We can't have a conversation. We don't feed off each other's energy. Like it's not enjoyable. I wouldn't want us to be having a bunch of conversation and enjoying each other over the phone, and then we get together and it falls flat. Like that would be the biggest disappointment. And so I'm not saying we shouldn't have any conversations before you come, but I wouldn't want to spend weeks at a time getting to know you just for you to come to me or me to come to you and then it's whack. Like I wouldn't want that to happen. You know what I'm saying? And you're taking a gamble either way because the person could come to you and maybe you guys have a great time, but the more conversations you have when they go back or when you go back, and it's like, yeah, we had a great time, it was fun, but still nothing. So I mean, it's a gamble either way. But no, I want to see the person face to face because I feel like you could. There's a lot that you can pick up on when that person is in front of you that you're not going to get over a phone conversation or a FaceTime. Personally.
So let me add an additional to that. I said, ladies in the comments, drop a comment on this. Does the man get any? Does he get any? I'm gonna call it brownie points. Does he get any brownie points for paying for this flight, hopping on this plane, and coming to see you in person? Does that carry any weight? Does that say anything additional, or does that not matter to y'all at this point?
Chloe.
Anybody? Let's say, ladies, drop a comment. Let me know. Does he get any brownie points, or does that weigh heavy for him if he catches a flight to come see you in another state or in another location?
I think for me, I guess that's why I would put that in the intentional bucket. Like I know, Vince was saying, well, that's nothing, and maybe for some people it is nothing, but for some others, it's not. It's not nothing to book a flight and reserve a hotel and go to another city to see someone that you don't know is going to work out. Like you have no idea what's really going to happen. So yeah, I think that he gets credit for being intentional enough to want to make the investment. Listen, ladies, we're talking about y'all being upset about dudes only wanting to take you on coffee date. We're talking about dudes not even wanting to invest, a few $100s for dinner, right? And you guys are upset about that. You're in a tizzy. So imagine a man saying, okay, I'll buy a plane ticket and come to see you. I'll get a room and we'll hang out for a few days, whatever. Like, that's an investment. And a man that's willing to make that investment for a date and you guys are complaining about, men not wanting to take y'all on dinner. I mean, I think it does say something. And I think that a man should get credit for that. I think there is a certain amount of intentionality that comes with him being willing to do it.
Okay.
She also
Appreciate
wasn't
that right
attracted
there.
to him enough.
What you say, Joe?
I said she just wasn't. It doesn't matter how long. It's crazy. So I know what he's. It doesn't matter the time frame, so to speak. It's kind of like it's a convenient excuse. But even if it was 3 or 4 weeks, if I've made a call and a woman likes me and we haven't spoken for a long time, it's like, when can you come over? So a lot of time can pass. I'm not saying it's ideal, but if a woman was really into you, like the couple that they double dated with, she did that. It was like she was into it. She was looking forward to him coming. So he didn't do anything differently than what this gentleman did. So she was stalling it because she just wasn't feeling him that way. I mean, at the end of the day, so it was the same exact energy, but she just wasn't that connection, that spark. She didn't feel it for him, but he tried to make an effort. I don't really think he was trying to feel it, but he was willing to see if I'm going to feel it. So, but this guy who they double dated with, he felt it intensely, but she also equally felt it intensely. So it wasn't a one-sided thing. They were both into it, but she, of course, he's the man. She's waiting for him to make the move. And, I mean, I don't know. You say you're not gonna play it tonight. It's unfortunate because it'll show you the clear difference between this, what we just saw, and the people that they double date. It's like, wow, this is it. So I don't know. That's what I got.
Okay. Now I feel that right there. I feel that. JR, it's on you, man.
Yeah, I want to say I'm a living experience of a long distance relationship, and that's what I'm in currently at the moment. So so I would say like in the current obviously stage that we're in now, I would say obviously if you are talking to someone who doesn't live within your city, I'll probably say majority of the work is done over text and over the phone, because then like you don't really have a choice but to kind of let them into your life to a certain extent. So I think it was Mr. Vince that mentioned it, is telling his, wife to be at the time, I'm going to work, I'm going to the gym, or I'm going to hang out with the guys, watch a bit of football, whatever it is. So you kind of know each other's schedule to a certain extent, but you just haven't seen each other yet. And, if you're spending that time, especially if she's giving you that time, if she's got work in the morning, right, and she's breaking that sleep time for you, like I said, you're doing most of the work over the phone, because by the time you come to meet her, 9 times out of 10, you should be able to move forward from there, because you spent so much time, whether it be a week or 2 weeks, the amount of time you spend over the phone, just talking to each other, it adds up. So by the time you come and meet the person, you kind of know them to a certain extent. Of course, yeah, it's not the real person over the phone, but they can't really fake it by the time you meet them, because even if I met you in person, you can still fake it anyway. But so it's just a different formula of, if I'm not going to see you in person, I have to put that time in before I meet you, because I can't see you. So put it over the phone, and then when I'm not with you after I've met you, you keep it going. So you kind of have to maintain it to keep them obviously in the loop, kind of thing. So yeah, like I said, I'm a living experience of that. My previous relationship was that as well. I don't know why I prefer long distance relationships, but that's that's me. So
Bruh.
Like why do it?
and it's like a
That
good
women.
4 or 5 hours away. So
Okay. All right. No, I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. Let me get this comment, then we're going to go to the next video. Let's see. Even Wright said, plot twist. If she paid to go there, then acted like that. Let's see. She did what she wanted to do, be on a show and be seen. She wanted exposure and new followers. They put their Instagram tag up, just saying, oh, yeah. Yeah, they could be out there just leveraging, and, the show does get a lot of eyeballs. You know what I'm saying? So you might be right on to something right there, even, right? You might be on to something. All right, let me throw up this next one. I think Vince sent this over. Let me see what's popping.
So let me ask you this. Why do you think men stay in marriages when they're unhappy? Or I'm asking from men, like I'm not gonna ask from a woman's perspective, but you unhappy.
I done been through all type of shit with Shantae. We've been married for 23 years, 27 years, something, I don't know. But it's 30 years we've been together. You know what I'm saying? We've been up, down, up, down. I came out the streets. I ain't know what love was. I ain't never seen nobody get married. I ain't woo-to-woo. You know what I'm saying? I'm been happy, sad. But I know that's my person. So that's why I would stay in it, because I don't want nothing besides this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? She gotta not want me for me not to want her.
Yeah.
So that's the reason why, you know what I'm saying? Cause this mine's. I take possession of this.
That's not unhappiness though.
No, I've been unhappy. You talking about?
You stayed there.
Yeah, because this mine, I'm saying, I love you. This mine.
You just feel like you put too much into it to just walk away, or?
No, this mine's.
So you possessive over?
No, this mine's.
But you unhappy though, that's what I'm saying. Like, why be unhappy?
That come with it. Well, from where I come from, that come with it. Shit, grandma sleep upstairs, granddad sleep downstairs for 3 years, and then they get back together. Shit, it's healthy in the end, because I'd rather do that than be still in love with you and playing with somebody else. And then I got a woman out here thinking that I'm something else that I ain't, because I don't even really fuck with you like my heart over here. So damn all these bitches.
Okay. So Vince, what you see, man?
I seen this. She kept going to the happy, unhappy. He didn't even understand. I felt he didn't even understand that. His thing was this mine. We won. What you talking about happy? What happy got to do with anything? We committed. We won. I don't want nobody else. And she kept going back to that. Well, you happy? He was like, what the fuck you keep talking about happy for? What happy got to do with this thing we got? This commitment, this covenant. What happy got to do with anything? We won. That's what I got. Well, I'm unhappy for 5 minutes. And then most of these ladies, if they was honest, they get out there and get single like Tia Mowry, and they wish they could have their husband back because they unhappy for 5 minutes. It ain't, that. Well, he ain't making. And then they get out there and see ain't nothing better out here. But then they start girl tripping and BBLing, but they really want their husband back. They want their family back, but their pride won't let them do it. Men, I don't think most men think like that. Men ain't leaving because they unhappy. Because we understand that there's periods where you're gonna be unhappy. Just like me and Remy, where we going? You might as well get happy because you ain't going nowhere. Rim tell me how I'm gonna get there. I ain't gonna have no feet. She gonna do me like they did on Misery. You that movie Misery? When that lady broke her, she said, "Where you going? You ain't gonna walk away. You got to limp away." So that's what I got from that. I got that she kept going back to this. Well, happy. He didn't even understand what she was talking about. I thought that was kind of funny.
Yeah, no, that's real right there. Yeah, no, I saw that video come over. Listen, that was a good find, man. And I just watching it, for me, it just points back to, once again, it points back to men and them being intentional with what they're doing. Yeah, this man is literally saying that I done found you, you mine. Yeah, the whole she over here talking about possessive and all this other nonsense. And it's like, it ain't got nothing to do with no possessive. It's like, I done found you. I done made a commitment to you. You mine. This my family. And I'm going to make sure I do what I got to do for my family. Yeah, that's not about being possessive. That's a man. Yeah, that's what intentional, serious men do. That's how they move. Yeah, but it don't matter what other little chicks is sniffing around or whatever else. This the one over here. So I don't care what you talking about. And that's what that looks like. Yeah, he know what he want. He committed. He locked in, and that's that. Yeah, so we gonna have some down times. Yeah, you gonna piss me off. Yeah, you gonna do some nonsense. I'm gonna be looking at you sideways. Yeah, I'm gonna have to walk away from you for a minute, but we're gonna come on back, get it together, and get on back to business. Yeah, that's how men moves. I mean, that's how men move. And that's why I said it's interesting though that the host, it's like she was struggling to understand that. Yeah, she talking about, if you unhappy, why are you standing all this? And it's like that's part of the problem. Yeah, when we look at this whole concept of marriage, you're not supposed to be running away just because you hit a low point or you hit an unhappy point. That's not how that works. Yeah, you don't commit to somebody just to bail out because somebody was happy today. Or they not happy today but happy tomorrow. Like that's not how that worked. That wasn't even the original design. Yeah, but we've taken on that mentality, and then we want to look at somebody who doesn't have that mentality. We want to look at them as to almost like we don't understand what they're saying. Yeah, like he talking crazy. It's the wildest thing ever. But now I understood exactly what my man was saying. Let me get some of these comments, then I'm gonna come back to it. Let's see. Donovan says security is everything. Every day ain't unicorns or rainbows. Let's see. Women put too much emotion in front of survival. Yeah, no, that's facts right there, man. I give you that. Yeah, that's facts right there. Let's see. Kenyatta said the reality is they are going to have ups and downs. Better go to sleep in the other room. Yeah, it seems simple. Yeah, it used to be you go get the couch. So yeah, I don't know what's done changed. I'm gonna mute you for a second, Joe. You got a little background noise coming through. I'll mute you for a sec. Let's see. Nicole, shout out to IT in the building. She said, correction, real men not leaving because they unhappy. Now my generation is different. Okay, so Nicole, that might answer the question. Yeah, y'all may have a lower percentage of the real dudes out here. I don't know. I might have to send you that link if you want to get something off your chest, Nicole. Let's see. Donovan said, let's see. That's purpose 101. Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, when the dude is locked in, he locked in. He don't play all these games. Let's see. Kenyatta said the host was trying to find the negative in the facts. She was trying to find the negative in the relationship. This is what a lot of these women are doing. Yeah. Now, you know what? Now, I don't understand that, Kenyatta. I don't understand why they do that. Go ahead, Chloe.
I was gonna say, I think that we as women sometimes we get so caught up in our emotions that we look at things like love as just an emotion. We look at um, you know our situation in marriage as it should feel this way. If I'm with this person, it should feel like this. And love is an action word. Yes, it's a feeling, but it's the action word. Like love requires action. It requires effort. And I think men tend to understand that a little bit better. I mean, if you even think about the process of a man having to be the one to propose, which means he has to go out, he has to go find the ring, he has to set up this said proposal. Like he has to be prepared even before he presents you with the ring. For what that means after the wedding and after the proposal, right? So I think that men just think of relationships in a different way. And we're talking about intentional men tonight, right? So we're not talking about goofballs. We're talking about intentional men. I think that they think about relationships in a different way. So it's not about if I'm unhappy today or unhappy tomorrow. I mean, just think about it. A man has probably been unhappy in a relationship while he was dating you at some point. But that didn't stop him from putting a ring on your finger.
You know what? Say that again.
So I just think that it matters. Like we have to understand that men just look at love in a different way. Men know that if they say I love you to someone, that they have to be ready and prepared to put action behind it. They know that that's what it is, and that it's going to have to be something that's living, which means it's not going to always look the same way every day. And I just think as women, we sometimes lose sight of that. We forget that because our feelings talk to us, right? And ladies, this is something that we have to overcome because the way these hormones be hormoning, you're gonna feel different from minute to minute. So we can't be led by our feelings. And I think that's something that, I see a lot of women going on and on about, especially in this generation coming up behind us. And we got to get a grip on this because this is ruining a lot of relationships.
Read these comments and I'm gonna come over to you, Joe. Let's see. Shout out to my guy J.U. Griffin. He said many women think a successful relationship is only when you're happy all the time, when a successful relationship is working through the unhappy times. Yeah, no, facts, J.U. Griffin. Yeah, but I think this is a piece of it that, man, as hard as it sounds, we got to figure out how to restore. Yeah, but everybody or a lot of folks today, they are so quick to tap out. Yeah, I don't understand where it comes from. They're so quick to tap out. But it's really when it comes to these relationships. If I look at folks in these old whack jobs, I look at folks and some of this nonsense that's going on in this country, and it's like folks will keep fighting. But when it comes to a relationship and then they hit a moment of unhappiness, then they're ready to tap out and call it quits. And I'm like, why are we so, let me call it what it is. Why are we so lazy when it comes to relationships? Yeah, like all this other stuff is material. All this other stuff goes and comes and goes, but it's just like we get so lazy and so lacking momentum or lacking motive when it comes to relationships. And I'm trying to understand why. Yeah, when this is something that essentially, if done properly, is lifetime. Yeah, but that's when we want to put in the least amount of effort. That's when we want to sit back and wait on him to find us. That's when we want to, tap out because, oh, he made me mad or she made me mad today. Like, yeah, the stuff just don't make sense to me. Maybe I'm too old school. See, Kenyatta says some of these women want butterflies, unicorns, and rainbows every day. This is what keeps them single. No, that's facts right there. Yes, unrealistic expectations. Donovan said, in order to restore relationship, you got to remove the entitlements and expectations. Okay, Donovan, so who we got to jump on, man? Yeah, we got to jump on somebody. A lot of these young folks entitled out here. So you gotta tell me, man, what we need to do. We might need to get old school. Let me know how you would address it, Donovan, so I can know what we gotta do with it. All right, Joe, it's on you, man.
I think the best way to illustrate the childishness of her statement, condescending the way in which she was doing it, repeating herself over and over like he's some child. Like, did you hear what I said? Unhappy, happy. You understand the difference? He's like, no, I got it. I'm telling you, yeah, but I don't think you really heard. So just digging at him in that way, passive aggressive. But aside from that, it's when I'm working out, I'm not happy about my legs burning from doing squats. I'm not happy about the sweating and the pain that comes from doing push-ups and all of this. But what makes me happy is that I persist through the pain, I go through it, and then I see the result of me going through it and overcoming it and being committed to it, being disciplined to stick it through. And the result is I have muscle, I have physique, I have great health. I'm not happy that I don't get to eat ice cream every day, but I do it. And the end result is I look 10 years younger than my actual age. It's discipline. The happiness comes from the commitment itself. It comes from the satisfaction that we feel, at least as men, that, okay, I did this. Maybe I'm going out construction work. I hate this job, but when I come home to a house full of food. My wife is fed. She's safe. They're in a good neighborhood. My kid is running around happy and smiling. And Daddy, you're home. That's what brings us happiness. But if we was going off just our feelings, we would quit our jobs. We would not construct any roads. We wouldn't do anything that's productive or worthwhile because anything worth having, it takes some effort to have, to obtain, and to maintain. But that's just like what we do in our singular lives. So if you can take that mindset in your own personal life and say, well, in order for me to accomplish this, I have to go through this. There has to be sacrifices that be made. Then it would make sense for you to understand what that man was saying about me being happy is the fact that I'm still with her. It's the fact that I didn't quit on us. That's what she wasn't getting. Um, so yeah, the happiness comes from the commitment and discipline. It's the same thing when I'm trading stocks. I'm not happy about losing money. I don't win every day. Today I might make $1,000. Tomorrow I might lose 500. The next day I might lose 1,000. The next day I might win 2,000. But I'm happy. But the way I make profit is when I'm consistently trading the same way every single day. It's not based on whether or not I win or lose. It's me staying consistent, and that is when I see the final result of the efforts I put in. That's what makes me happy. It's the end result. But what makes me unhappy is if I were to decide, oh, I'm not going to trade today because I lost the day before. I don't feel like losing money today, or I can't predict. Now I'm unhappy. And yes, I might have avoided losing a trade, but I also could avoid winning a trade. You avoid winning in marriage if you don't play to win. She's kind of playing a defensive role. Well, if you're not unhappy, then what's the point of being married? If you're going to be unhappy, what's the point of being in marriage? That's a very defensive role to play. He's playing offense. I'm playing to win because the marriage vows, at least I'm not married, but what I heard is to death do us part, for better or worse, through sickness and health. So it's not just when you're healthy, it's not just when you're feeling better, it's not just when everything's hunky dory and you're feeling joyful and sunshines and roses, like Kenyatta said. It's when things go to shit and then just like, okay, this is painful. These squats are painful. I'm sweating too much. I really want to hang up the towel, but I got to get the extra rep in. Same thing with marriage. The extra rep is you pushing through the tough times. You both overcoming that. And then the man seeing that and going, man, that was tough, but I'm glad we did it. That's the happiness. The sadness is when he goes and divorces and he reflects on, I was really sad. I was mad. But damn, maybe you could have worked it out. Now he's having
Right.
regrets about having divorce. So that's the concept she doesn't understand. I think that's just the way she was raised. It's also a part of the culture that we're in which is it's cool and chic to divorce when you're unhappy. Now, I'm not saying, the last point, I'm not saying that a woman or a man should be perpetually unhappy. If I consistently hate working out, I probably shouldn't be doing it. If I consistently am losing money in the stock market, I should probably find something else to do. So if you're consistently unhappy in a relationship, you can't stand that person's guts, you can't stand the way they smell, can't stand. If it's a perpetual thing year after year, yes, smart thing to do is to split apart and say, hey, we just wasn't meant for each other. That to me is an intelligent thing to do. But what a lot of women tend to do, and it's usually women who do it, is when they have unhappiness for a season, maybe it's a month or two or three, maybe even possibly a year, they throw in the towel and say, I'm done with it. But the man is willing to keep going with it because he sees the light at the end of the tunnel. But she's refusing to follow him to the light at the end of the tunnel. She doesn't see it, he sees it, then you have a disconnect. And I think women are just because of their more emotional nature, they don't they're not going to be as prone to have that kind of foresight as much as a man does. So I think we can just endure more. We can go last longer in a lot of different ways because just the way we're designed. But it's there's that, and then there's a short term. Oh, I'm unhappy. We're done. It's like, damn, we
Yeah.
barely sneezed, and we haven't even hardly talked that out. You just want to call it quits. So it's a different type of it's a lack of fortitude. And I think that's what a lot of these people need today is more heart, more passion, and more
Yeah.
consistency and discipline. That's what makes
Yeah. Yeah, no, I feel that right there. I feel that right there. Cole, I saw you just hop on. You didn't want to say nothing, did you? She's not talking, is she? We can't hear you, Cole. Come on, IT. Come on, IT. You got to put a ticket in. What's going on? I thought I just heard you, though. Let me get IT a minute. Let me check these comments real quick. Let's see. Can y'all just... Yeah, I can hear you. We hear you now. Let's see. Joe said, Kenyatta said, Joe, good points. Adults know anything. Yeah, we hear you. Or anyone worth having is worth working for. Yeah, no, that's facts right there. Let's see. Donovan said, let's see. These failed relationships fault when both parties aren't willing to go the distance and put the necessary effort and work every day. There's no off days in a relationship. If you need to take days off, what are you doing while you're on a solo stroll? Okay, that's facts right there. All right, Cole, you want to say something? You good right now? You back on mute again. No, Cole, I'm going to have to let you sit there. Let me go ahead and send your ticket in, Cole. This is ridiculous.
You gotta unmute yourself.
Yeah, she on mute right now. Well, Cole, I'm about to take us into this curveball if you ain't got nothing you want to say, Nicole. I don't know. Can she hear me? Can you hear me, Nicole? Oh, she can't hear us at all. Is she not froze, is she? I still see her moving.
I don't think she can hear us. I'll hit her in the back chat. Go ahead.
Okay. All right, let me take us to this last video. I just want to make sure she ain't had nothing she want to say. All right, so I think Eva Wright's still on here. Eva Wright, drop me a comment if you still here. I know you sent this over. I said this is gonna be the curveball for the night. I think this is directed at the fellas, I think. You want to kick this off, Chloe? You want me to wait?
Go ahead.
Okay, this video number. All right, Eva, right here go your video right here. Let me see how this go.
All right. Okay. All right. Can you please introduce yourself? Name, age, occupation.
I'm Malaysia. I'm 29, and I am a bartender and a model.
Okay. All right. So, Malaysia, what is your type?
Nice dress, polite, generous.
Okay. And I would like to also know, what are your deal breakers, non-negotiables?
Cheap.
Okay.
Not polite. Body odor, stink, stuff like that.
Okay. All right, that's good. All right. All the menus seem to still be on. Okay. So we got two balloons that popped. Let's go ahead and figure out why they popped the balloon. All right. Okay. Let's move forward. Okay. All right. So we can start from here. All right. Can you introduce yourself, name, age, occupation, and why you popped the balloon?
Name is Seti, 34, work in cybersecurity. She's gorgeous. She's just way too tall for me. And I'm not sure if I can carry you. You do look good, but you're just way too tall. It's a deal breaker.
Wait, you said you're not sure if you can carry her?
Yeah, because She's tall.
Okay. All right. I think you can carry her. You're
I don't deadlift. I bench, but I'm not sure if I'll be able to carry her.
Okay. All right. How you feel about that?
He's not confident within himself. So, I mean, he seems. Yeah.
Is he your type?
No.
Oh.
No. I do love his skin color. I just don't like the way he's dressed. He's look kind of older. So, I don't know. I like a cute face.
You like a cute face?
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean by a cute face?
Yeah.
What do you mean by a cute face? Like
Teddy has beautiful teeth, but his face was giving. He'd been through a lot. He's very older, wiser man. Like, you know, he'd been through a lot of years in his life.
I mean, I was definitely very disappointed. I consider myself medium ugly, so I think I do pass the test when it comes to the scale of, rating. So, it is what it is. I think because she's too tall, I think maybe she took that very personal. But I think, of course, she's beautiful, but I consider myself medium ugly.
He's not cute?
No, not to me. Sorry.
Well, I mean, she's gorgeous. She's just
nice teeth. I love your teeth.
Thank you.
Amazing.
I do love your nose piercings.
Thank you.
Again, I love your tattoos. You're gorgeous. I love your energy, your passion. Just the hype me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of guys is insecure, so totally I understand.
Thank you.
All right. I mean, also, I would like to know, would you mind dating a guy that's shorter than you?
It's no problem for me.
Okay. All right. Love it. So let's go.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Shout out to Even Right for that curveball video right there. So that was I guess you call that the bootleg version of Pop Balloon, but the young lady clearly is a tall young lady. The fella says she too tall. So yeah, when I saw this video, I gotta ask a question to all of the fellas, and I need y'all to give me the straight yes or no. Just straight yes or no. I need Vince to come off mute as well. So if this young lady walked up on you, she looked like she about 6'7", 6'6", somewhere in there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be generous. If she walked up on you, what you doing with it? Is you about to go ahead and do your thing, or is you tapping out because she too tall? I got to put the fellas on the spot. Donovan, drop a comment as well. JU, drop a comment. Where Vince at? Vince, you still there, Vince?
I'm 5'7".
Is you climbing the tree or you walking away?
That's what you call a Long Island iced tea. Yeah. I can't climb that mountain. I don't have the equipment.
Okay, so you saying no. All right, so let me
and she ain't that gorgeous. I've seen her up close. That face is about a 4.
I got you. Let me keep
and
going.
And the attitude is a 2.
let me keep going. JR, come off mute, man. Is you climbing that tree or you tapping out? What you doing?
Boy, I mean,
come on, man.
No,
you said you are or you not? What you doing?
Nah, I said I don't know. I don't know. Boy.
I need a yes or no, man. You doing it or you not?
No, nah. I'm probably turning away still. I'll probably turn away still.
All right. So
she doesn't look.
No.
She doesn't look. Oh, I don't know, man. Oh, nah. I'm not.
Okay.
I'm not doing that.
All right. I'm writing this down. Let me come to Joe. Joe, you climbing that tree or you tapping out, man?
I'd be lying if I said I wouldn't. I'll tell you the reason why.
Go ahead.
I'll tell you the reason why. Because I had a recent experience where I met the tallest woman I've ever seen in my life. Model, she was gorgeous at a modeling event. Dozens of women, shorter than me, average size, that's what I'm used to. But for whatever reason, I'm like, why am I drawn to this woman who's about 4? I'm 6'2". She's about at least 3 or 4 inches. It was crazy. I was like, what? But for whatever reason, I had to pause. Yeah. I mean, but yeah. I don't know. I didn't think I would be attracted to taller women because I'm already taller than most women I meet.
Right.
So I didn't know I would be until I saw her and I was just so I shot my shot. She in Chicago. That's funny you brought up Chicago earlier. I would have made that drive, brother. I would have made the drive. I would have done it. She didn't give me the time. I do got her Instagram, so actually I'm thinking about it. You can see she's still on
Okay.
my mind. But yeah, I would do it. I mean,
Okay.
I think she's I don't know. Her comments about the digs, oh, he's just insecure, or like it's like
Well,
these
we
feelings
gonna
that
throw that
yeah,
to
you
the
know.
side. We gonna
Oh,
throw
okay.
that to the side. Hold on, let me keep going, Joe. Hold on. So let's see. J.U. Griffin. Let's see. He said, "I love a tall drink of water. I am 6'3". Okay, so J.U. said
Yeah, I think that's being
he gonna
taller.
mess with it. Okay, let me
Not
keep
as
going. Let's
intimidating.
see. Eva Wright said hilarious. Kenyatta said, let's see, she might have the same bite. Oh,
Whoop.
That's crazy.
I'm gonna leave. Hold on, I'm gonna leave that right there.
Oh my God!
I'm gonna leave that right there. Let's see. Donovan said, I'm 5'8". I never climbed trees. Okay, so I'm gonna put you down for a no, Donovan. Let's see, JU. Let's see. I have no problem with a woman taller than me at all. Okay, JU, I got you down for the double yes. Let's see, Eva Wright. Let's see. Okay, so why is it wrong for? Are you okay? You know where I was going with this, Eva Wright. So she said, okay, so why is it wrong for a woman to say a man is too short when y'all can do her like that?
Oh,
So let's
It
go
ain't
ahead and
wrong.
pose.
Hold on. I'll say
great
something because
question.
I'm the shortest man on the panel.
Go ahead.
I've had women turn me away, say I was too short, and I told them I stand on my wallet. They said that ain't good enough. I mean,
Oh,
everybody got a preference. Short, tall, skinny. You know, I was like, hey, I get it.
Listen, it wasn't the
I'm
tall.
no hater.
Was it the tall or
It
was
was the
it?
tall for me, and she wasn't cute.
Okay, I was wondering. Okay, so it was the tall
Nah, if she,
and she wasn't cute. But I
nah,
was
and
thinking,
her attitude.
okay, in her attitude.
Yeah,
But I was gonna ask Eva what she sent us because I was trying to ask, was this Atlanta?
Oh, I don't know.
Was this shot in Atlanta?
Yeah, I don't know.
Because I was trying to understand what it was
Oh,
that
so
we
you
were
saying it might not have been a
looking.
woman? Is what you saying?
I was curious because
oh, you wrong for that. I'm just
I
catching on.
I
Wow.
just saying, was this like Pop the Balloon
Like, why she bring
Atlanta?
up ATL?
Like where everybody is into anything. So I just wasn't
Oh,
sure because they didn't look surprised. They did. Here's the thing: like they didn't look surprised by her height as much as they were just like she's just too tall. Like, but he was complimenting her. She cute. I like her tattoos. I like this. I like that. I like this. So almost like the deal breaker was just her height. It was nothing else, fam. And
Yeah.
so
I
I'm
think he
like,
was trying to
so
be nice, Chloe. He was just trying to be nice. She wasn't all that attractive.
yeah. The package wasn't attractive at all. The whole package, like, nah.
okay.
body was
I
It's
was
not.
beautiful.
It's not.
curious
Body was
because and the voice me, the voice was throwing me off.
No, I got you. I got you. So let me pose this question because I said I want to know this as well. So I know we talk about preference, right? So everybody's entitled to their preference. So we know that ladies go around and they say that, you know what I'm saying, a lady, she can be 5'1" and the dude can be 6'2", and she'll still say he too short. So clearly there's a thing where, women have a issue with short men. They want these men. How y'all said, I think Nicole's still there. How y'all said y'all want to be able to look up? I think that's how y'all said. Y'all want to be able to look up to the man, or however y'all said.
Yeah, I said that.
Okay, so y'all want to be able to look up to the man. So y'all can be
Oh,
5'1", he can be 6'2".
hard, but as long as I can look up.
Okay. Okay. So I understand. So y'all say y'all want a taller man, so y'all will turn down a shorter man. So this is my question, because the young lady, she did it in this video, and I'm really trying to understand where is it coming from. So she said that these men that are turning her down, or that man that turned her down because she's tall, is because these men are insecure. Why is that always the response? Like, so when a woman says it, when a woman says she wants a taller man, the man does not come back and say, well, that's just because women are insecure. We don't do that. We just be like, well, dang, so I can't do nothing about my height, but all right, it is what it is. But when a man has a preference around a woman's height or a preference around anything as it relates to a woman, it's always because he's insecure or because he's not a real man.
Or
so
he's
ladies,
intimidated.
help me.
Or
Right,
he's
or
intimidated.
he's intimidated. That's the other one. So help me understand that. Why is it that when a man has a preference about a woman, he's either insecure or intimidated? Where does that come from?
He can't handle me.
Right, he can't. He can't handle me. Right, that's the other one. So why does it always have to be a shortcoming on the man's part? Because he has a preference about something that he likes when it comes to women. So ladies, drop a comment. Let me know what y'all say about that. I know we got Chloe and Cole on the panel. Y'all can say something as well if y'all want to comment on that. I'm gonna be quiet because I want to hear this.
They don't handle rejection.
Y'all done went quiet. Hold on.
I'm still confused about what I just saw.
I can tell she's still thinking about it too. That's the
I just don't know why I just moved past that.
All right. Okay.
I'm gonna stop. Even Right sent that over. That's Even Right. That's on you, Even Right.
Like,
We confused
what kind of stuff you be watching, sis?
And she has heels on.
Girl,
Easy, y'all.
I'm gonna have to come over there. You need something else to do and then watch that, girl.
Oh, y'all, wow.
Girl.
Let's see. Can y'all just say a double standard? Yeah, no, I know it's a double standard. I'm just trying to figure out why we got to be insecure or intimidated, or like why does that have to be the response? Why it just can't be, dudes don't want a super tall lady.
We get rejected more.
Yeah, that's women don't take rejection well. I mean, we don't. I'll go ahead on and be honest. Like, we don't like being rejected. When we put ourselves out there, it takes a lot for us to want to put ourselves out there. So we're very uncomfortable with rejection. So we always got a retort ready. We always got something ready. And it's always going to be attacking something about you guys' character or personality. We like to hit below the belt when we've been,
our
feelings get hurt, right? So we got to attack your manhood in some kind of way. Too short, your D game whack, you lack confidence, you insecure, you can't handle me. It's always some way to attack your manhood. That's typically what we're going to do if we feel offended or triggered. That's usually, I think that's just a tactic that, women have, just mastered.
Y'all done mastered it.
Well, I'm just saying what I say master because it is so like you just said, it happens often. It's usually the response. Women from all walks of life do it. It doesn't matter how young or how old they are. So that's why I say that. It's almost like it's been passed down from generation to generation. That's how I mean, what y'all want from me? I see the same things you guys see. So
that's all good. That's
all
good.
I got.
Let me say this real quick. Shout out to my guy. I don't want to leave that hanging. Where is that at? Yeah, shout out to my guy J.U. Griffin. Yeah, he said he love a tall drink of water. He said he's 6'3". He love a tall drink of water. See, J.U., he ain't intimidated. Yeah, he ain't insecure. He'll go ahead and tackle that tall drink of water and do what he got to do. Shout out to J.U. Griffin in the building. Yeah, holding us down. He
y'all
said,
y'all gotta be like J.U.
J.U. said, let's see, men have to be insecure. Let's see, if we weren't, that would mean that women was not perfect just the way she is. Can't be anything wrong with them. Yeah, no, that's and that seems to be the mindset. And I'm just like, where does that come from? If there's something wrong with all of us.
We the problem.
Yeah, it's something wrong with all of us. So I'm just like, I don't understand when we get into these situations and it's like we want to act like it ain't something wrong. It's like it's something wrong with all of us. I don't care how polished you think you is. I don't care how fine you think you is or how much money you got and whatever. We all got some issues. So it's like, let's just own that and move forward. Keep it simple like that. Appreciate that comment. Eva Rice said, let's see, she's just a big old lady. Yeah, no, she definitely has some size on her. She definitely need to be on the court. I'll tell you that much. She definitely need to be on the court. Donovan said every man should know and embrace his limitations. Donovan, man, what you mean by limitations, man?
What limits?
I don't know if I like that, man.
What
you mean by limitations, Donovan? I need you to explain yourself. What you mean by limitations, man?
Can you just play the clip just one more time? I think maybe I'm misjudging this one.
Can you please introduce yourself? Name, age, occupation?
I'm Malaysia. I'm 29, and I am a bartender and a model.
Okay. All right. So, Malaysia, what is your type?
Nice dress, polite, generous.
Okay. And I would like to also know, what are your deal breakers, non-negotiables?
Cheap.
Okay.
Not polite. Body odor, stink, stuff like that.
Okay. All right, that's good. All right. Okay. So, and why you popped the balloon?
Name is Sadie, 34, work in cybersecurity. She's gorgeous. She's just way too tall for me. And I'm not sure if I can carry you. No, you do look good, but you're just way too tall. It's a deal breaker.
Wait, you said you're not sure if you can. All right, I think you can carry her. You're okay. All right, how you feel about that?
He's not confident within himself, so yeah. I do love his skin color. His face.
IQ face.
Through a lot. He's
old. Old in the face is what she said. So
he's very older, wiser man. Like, he's been through a lot of years in his life.
I mean, I was definitely very disappointed.
Are you good now?
Thank you.
He's been through a lot. He's seen some things. He's been through war, hell and back. You can see it on his face. He's just like,
you know what?
Wrong.
I got another question because I keep hearing certain things. The comments going crazy. Let's see. Eva Rice said, y'all know I'm tall as F over here. I don't like how they are doing, sis. Hands are big as AF though.
Stop it, Eva. You are not comparing yourself. I knew you are not trying to make that happen. It is not the same thing, girl.
Eva Wright said them hands. She's seeing something with them hands. Let's see. Kenyatta said it looks like this was done. this was done on purpose. LOL. I don't know, Kenyatta. Let's see. Donovan said them legs ain't feminine. Those hands ain't either.
I'm not gonna say nothing. I
Eva
just
Wright said she laughing. I played it. I played it. I ain't gonna play it again. I'm getting questions. I'm getting questions from these clips because I keep hearing things. So, ladies, I got another question. Oh, Vince. Go ahead, Vince. No, I'm gonna ask it a minute. Go ahead, Vince. Come on, mute.
Y'all got me over here dying laughing. But you know what though? I'm gonna say 20 years ago, after some Patron and put a bag over her head,
you would have got it.
I don't know.
That is so wrong. I'm sorry. Jesus.
You would have got it. I know you would have got it. But let me ask this, because I keep, like I said, I keep hearing stuff in these videos, and I'm trying to understand where it's coming from. So she said it in this video. So she says she is looking for a generous man. So ladies, what does that mean?
A non-stingy man.
Elaborate for us, please.
What does that mean? Ladies, drop a comment. So when y'all say y'all looking for a generous man, what does that mean? Because I keep hearing that now as a requirement.
You know the song, Quay. Can you pay my bills? Can you pay my telephone bill? Can you pay my automobile? Then maybe we can chill. You know how that goes? Then maybe we can chill.
So we back to the money again. Is that what we talking about, Vince?
It's always about the money, Quay. Always. Sorry, not sorry. It's always about the money.
Always the money.
Hey.
Okay.
I'd rather have it than not.
I mean, I get it. Yeah, I get it right there. I get it. Let's see. Donovan said, "General, okay. Yeah, equal the money times the money. Okay, let's see even right. Let's see. That's right. Don't be stingy. I'm sure she be hungry. Dang.
You know what?
Yada said she does not want to hear the word no. Okay.
I mean, look, Chewbacca got to eat.
Y'all not gonna do
like
it.
that. See, here y'all go.
I'm not gonna do this today.
Hey, Quay.
Okay.
What's up?
I think she ordered that tomahawk steak.
Oh, for sure. No, like I said, don't get me wrong. I know a lot of fellas, they gonna be a little intimidated. You know, I'm gonna be honest. Some fellas gonna be intimidated to tackle that one. Cause I said she looked like she had to be about 6. I'm saying about 6'6", somewhere in there.
If she bend over, I still gotta stand on my tippy toes.
Oh man.
This is too much.
Oh,
you
man.
know what though, Quay, you ain't answered the question.
She was she was a little too much.
Oh, it's a no for you. You ain't answered
Yeah,
the question.
it's a no for me. I like them kind of petite. She a little too much. She a little too much.
Most man. Because I noticed when I was into this real talk, I noticed I was the only one going for the tall chick. Well, all the other guys, the other models, they was going for the shorter ones, the ones their height. And I was like, oh, I'm the only one that see. I was like, wow, it's part of his novelty to be honest, because I've never experienced it. I was like, huh? I was shocked. So I was like,
How
it was
tall you
part
say
that,
you are,
but it was
Joe?
also
Nah,
6'2".
Joe, you're just different, Joe.
I'm different. I might
You're a
be
different type. You're a different type of cat, bro. You're a different type of cat, bro.
That's gonna be it. Oh my god.
Wait, what do you how tall you say you was, Joe?
6'2".
Yeah, see, I'm only 6'1", man. So
Only 6.
she
Oh,
look,
that's tall. That's funny.
yeah, she look like
That's
she
the
about
same.
6.
We
Big
tall. We
difference.
got like we're only 6'1". We're only 6'2". We are tall. But that's
Yeah,
just
I'm
how the
only
world.
6'1", but she look like she about 6'6", something
With
like
heels
that,
on
man.
though. So
Yeah,
those
so now
shoes. So she made herself taller than she needed to be. She knows how most men respond. It's like, why would you put on heels that's 3 inches? Like you made yourself more
Right.
intentionally more intimidating. If that was not your intention, you sure didn't go out of your way to not make that more a possibility in a man's mind by wearing those heels. You ran platform shoes. Talking
Right.
about
She
dirty
was
come
wearing
on,
heels.
stilettos.
well,
Crazy.
come on, Joe. You know
Yeah.
she can't come on the dating show with the flats on. Now, come on, Joe. She knows she got to throw the heels on. She gotta show you what it is.
She should have had on some Air Force Ones.
Oh, here y'all go, man. Let me get up out of here. I see how y'all want to do. Let me check in with Cole because Cole hopped on here. I felt like she wanted to go off on somebody. Did you want to go off on somebody, Cole? Or you good? I felt like you wanted to check somebody, but
I mean, I'm alright.
who was it? Who was it? JR, Joe? Who was it? Vince? Who you come on here to check?
It's not Vince.
Was it a phone comment? Was
It
it a
ain't
test
Vince.
watch comment?
Who was it? Was
No,
it Joe? Was JR? Who was it?
it might be. I'ma just say it just seemed like it was a lot of excuses on how not and why not to do life together, and it don't take all that. That's all I'm gonna say.
That sounds like Joe. You was talking about Joe?
No, that's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm
Shots,
saying.
huh?
No, I'm just messing with you. I just wanted to make sure that I'm gonna get us up out of here in a minute. I just want to let you get off your chest if you want to get something off your chest before we get ready to take some clothes.
I mean, I think that was a good summary. I just said it sounded like it's a lot of excuses and a lot of extraness on how not and why not people don't want to do life together. That's all.
So what you trying to say? Like guys are scared to get married? Is that what you're saying?
I mean, yeah.
Where Vince at? Vince, come on back, man.
Yes, sir.
Is fellas scared to get married out here? Because Nicole says sound like fellas are scared to get married. You be hearing that? Or what you think?
I think fellas are a little scared because they understand that a lot of women nowadays, and I'm not talking about the ladies on the panel, but they don't know what they want. And they are leaving. See, it's not like they're leaving because he beating them in the head, with a hammer. They leaving because he don't take me to Jamaica. He ain't buying me a Gucci bag. He ain't picking up the kids. And I mean, I get it to a certain extent, but I always tell these men that smart women don't leave good men. So be the best man that you can, and try to find you somebody that wants to work with you. But a lot of the men who talk that don't really have their thing together. They don't really have their stuff together. So my whole thing is smart. Women usually don't leave good men.
Okay, no, I appreciate that right there. That's valid. So Nicole, let me ask you this: do you think that here's the comment, which I think this is what's playing into it. Donovan said, "Fellas ain't scared, just more cautious in today's climate." So I do agree with this, because there is a lot of stuff out here now. There's a lot of videos, there's a lot of conversations going on. And I think it does, because I warned that this was going to happen at some point, but I think it does have a lot more guys cautious, going into marriages today. But do you think, while we are saying that some of these guys are scared to get into these relationships or get into these marriages, do you think that ladies are not as long-term committed as they used to be as they get into these marriages with these men?
I think that's part of it too. I mean, I definitely think, there is a certain group of men and women that just leave stuff, in 5 minutes of when it doesn't go their way or something happening, which is causing that to spill out into the masses, which is making it that much more difficult to find one person to do life with. So I mean, I think that's part of it too. But I with that, to that comment, I do see, guys are more cautious, but it'd be some extremes to me.
You said it'd be some
Extremes. Like I personally, my experience, I don't really understand when they say cautious. I think they're gonna take my money. I don't get that part, because I'm not gonna say black folks don't have money, but
That's what
I
you're
just
saying.
don't. I don't get that. I don't get that experience. Oh, she'll take my money. Is she really?
She said y'all don't have no money anyway, so why you worried about her taking it?
I don't really get that.
Basically.
Wait. Hold on. So you said wait. So you say you don't get these guys saying that she's gonna take his money? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I think that was Donovan comment where he was saying that guys are they're not scared, but they're more cautious in today's climate. I agree with that, but I'm saying and to what he said, I think some situations be like extremes that don't make sense. Like, I really don't understand the aspect where a guy's like, I'm not gonna get married because the woman gonna take my money. What are we defining as money?
Stop being stingy, man.
Well, is it easier for you to make that comment or to even ask that question because you're a woman and you can't put yourself in a man's shoes who may have a certain level of resources that he doesn't want?
It's really different because I make a decent amount of living, and I've typically have always made more than my partner. So I don't know. I'm just gonna say I don't know. I don't know.
That's not typical. You're making much more than a
I
man. That's not. That's
would
not.
just say I don't know to that. I don't know. I just don't understand the she got to me for my money.
Because you
What are we
have money.
defining as
That
money?
makes sense.
Okay, so what if the dude is making 85,000 a year? So he's married to the woman, he making 85,000. Let's just say she making 80. So they divorced. So she taking 50% of the accrued assets during the marriage. You don't think that's her taking some of the money?
Yeah, but we gotta look deeper in that. What assets were
Oh,
accrued while they were together in the marriage?
Okay,
Was it
so
just
let's say
her, or was it together?
let's say they bought a house together. They bought a little Mercedes because they thought they was doing a little something. So now
So they built life together.
so now she divorced him. So now she walking away with the Mercedes, and most likely he probably gonna end up leaving the house, or they gotta dissolve it. He gonna take a little portion, she gonna take a little portion. So you don't think that's her taking his money?
Not necessarily, because they built the life together, and you said they're dissolving the house. They built the life together, no?
Let me go to Vince. Vince, what you say, Vince?
I
In
agree
that
with Nicole.
situation, they built the
You
life
know what? I
together.
agree with Nicole because most people out here working. These guys talking about she taking my money. Y'all both on that lease. It's $1,000. She paying 5, you paying 5. It ain't a lot of men out there paying 100% because they ain't got it. My thing is, well, y'all had these babies though. My thing is the
Yeah,
babies is gonna
that's
take your money. I
yeah.
mean, a marriage is a one-time hit. A kid is a lifetime. So a lot of these guys be talking that and they 3-4 kids deep. Oh, well, I don't want to get married because she gonna take my money, but I'd rather be in child support for the rest of my life. So I do believe a lot of that do be capped.
So what you think it
Because
is, man?
men
They
ain't
just
even
don't want to
making
make the commitment.
men not even making that much money. You know how many? I mean, the average income, especially a black man, is what 50,000. It's her 50. It's his 50 and her 50. And and my thing, okay, if they bought the house together, then that's fair. I think it's fair if you sell the house and you split the equity and you go get your apartment.
I mean, I don't understand the problem. I don't get that personally. I'm not gonna. I mean,
You
even
don't
if
find
he
that
is,
suspicious?
even if okay, let's just walk this out. Let's walk this out. I've been waiting for opportunity to do this, and I'm gonna just try to keep it brief. But let's walk this out. Okay. Let's say she is a kept woman. Let's say she is. Let's say she doesn't work. Okay. You pay all the bills, right? You support the lifestyle. Okay. You afford her a good lifestyle. Okay, that's wonderful. But if you are in that position, more than likely there are areas in your life where she's picking up the slack in order for you to do what you need to do to be able to support that family the way that you're supporting that family. If she was not in that place propping you up the way that she's propping you up, you would not be able to have the type of lifestyle that you have. So my thing is this: what does she get for that? Nothing.
Intangible, yeah. That
What does she get for that? Nothing. So if the
no.
marriage dissolves, right, then what should she walk away with? Nothing. So her time, her efforts, her investments were worth nothing. Is that what we're saying? Let's walk this out.
I was
Because
gonna say no, that's not what
if
I'm
you're
saying.
building, like Cole said, if you're building a life together, you're building this life together. If you guys want us to look at you as more than just a paycheck, because you bring more to the table than just your wallets, then you have to look at a woman the same way. And if you want to say that a woman's most valuable assets are not what she can financially contribute to the household, because you don't care about none of that, then when it's time for you to calculate her value to the relationship, do this and fork over what you owe her. Let's just have the conversation, right?
I think she
Because
talking about.
we don't want to do that, right? So when men start to talk about, well, I'm afraid of, I'm gonna lose this and I'm gonna lose that, you guys have both invested into this relationship. Now, what she invested might be different than what you invested. What you invested might be different than what she invested. We're not saying it's been equal across the board. We're not saying it's tit for tat. We're not saying that we're not saying that, right? But to say that a woman also doesn't sacrifice when she goes into a situation like a marriage and then walks away from it, there's things she lost too. There's things about her that are never going to be the same either. She's not going to leave that marriage, especially leaving with kids, and find another you. She knows that. It ain't going to happen. So there's sacrifices that both people make when they go into a relationship like that and then leave it. This is why I tell women, don't just be leaving your relationship, your marriages like this. Don't just be walking away. It's not a good idea. But it happens. But the idea of a man saying, well, she could do this, well, she could do that. And I'm just saying there's risks on both sides. If women start saying, well, I don't want to get in this marriage, pop out these babies, hip spreading, this happening, that happening, all of these things are happening, and I'm no longer youthful, so my sexual marketplace value tanks, and then something goes wrong in the relationship, and now I got to try to go back out here with a wagon of these kids behind me and try it again. And y'all don't want to be no single crash dummies. Crash dummies. Y'all don't want to be that no more, right? Right? So if that's the case, then I'm taking a big risk too. So dudes walking around saying, well, what if she do this? Well, what if she do that? Women have to have these conversations with themselves as well about what that might look like. Now, I understand the numbers are saying that women walk away. I get it. And I'm not saying men shouldn't be, this shouldn't be a thought process for men. I'm not saying that because I understand that women, by the numbers, seem to be walking away more and walking away quicker than men. So for this to be on your mind, sure, you should be thinking about this. This is why we also say, get to know who you're marrying prior to marrying them. Whatever that looks like for you, whatever that get to know that person looks like for you, whatever that process looks like for you, you better be doing that. Because that's really all you can do. So I think it's a little bit of a cop out. I'm with Cole. I think that, some men are using this. Well, women leave marriages. Women leave marriages. We know women leave marriages, but I feel like, are you guys really at the point where this is your main talking point about why you don't want to get married? Because I'm with Kenyatta. I'm ready to talk about the feelings and what that feels like for you. That I can accept. That makes sense to me. You feeling the loss of losing your family, and that makes sense to me. That conversation we can have. But this money conversation, I'm like, y'all.
Well, the
But I
money.
told
I see y'all
When you think
tricking off
about,
in many different directions, many different women for many different reasons. And these women are not wives. They are not doing anything for you. They're not continuing your legacy. They are not making any personal investment. They're not, but y'all trick off money on them like it ain't nothing. You don't even think twice about it. So I'm not about to have the conversation of the money is stopping you, because it gives a little bit of a cop out. And y'all
said tricking off. What?
This is one thing that y'all just not, it don't make sense to me. Y'all not gonna get me on this. Usually I be team dudes, but yeah, it's giving y'all are
What the hell?
That's what it's giving.
Wow. Tricking off. Okay.
I did mention before the tricking. The difference, I did mention it before, is simply that when a man is going to a strip club, he knows he's coming out of pocket. He's not being blindsided on the back end on the assumption that this woman loved me, that she's with me. Oh, damn, I just found out. I thought she loved me so much she wants to divorce me. Okay, fine, but why does she want to now take everything that I've worked and go above and beyond what she actually deserves? So that's why a man would go, because a woman who's upfront about it, that's a different story. You're telling me to my face, if a man comes to you and say, hey, I just want to sleep with you, you will respect him more than a man who comes on the back end and says, I want to be your friend. I just want to hang out. And then he springs up on you 3 years later when your boy break up with your boyfriend. He's like, hey, I know you need a shoulder to cry on, but you want to cry on something else, you go feel some kind of way. It's the exact same feeling. So it's the blindsided. It's that assumption that you're not like these women that I'm paying because you're different. And then, oh wait, you're not so different after all. That's the pain. Secondly, um, the financial, I think there's a when a man works and we work hard for money, it's a lot of things we sacrifice to acquire these green pieces of paper that society values. So when it's appears to be taken from us unjustly. And it's not that a lot of guys don't want their woman to go, the woman they divorce to go out on the streets and end up homeless. It's when they're taking a gross overestimation of what value they brought to the relationship, and they're almost in a lot of cases leaving these men, some of which I've met and have talked to, destroyed. They're the ones living in an apartment complex or some rundown slum, while the woman is end up in a house that she's is supposed to be split down the middle, but it's not. So it's just that the courts are grossly overfavoring for the woman. And I have friends personally, male friends, who speak about this, and I've seen what they go through. And that's just marriage and divorce. We're not even talking about when children are involved in the situation, which is much worse than divorce for a lot of these men. So that's the fear that comes with it. Yes, you take money from us because we work hard for it. It feels like robbery. You're hitting our pockets, and it's a visceral feeling. It feels like you're to you it might be oh it's just money. Yeah, but no, we sacrificed a lot to get this because we are providers by nature. So you're taking a hit. You're attacking our ability to provide even for ourselves to such a degree where we can't even provide for ourselves. So now we're in a situation where I'm thinking about just taking my own life. So it gets to that point. It's not just, unfortunately, yes, I get it. Money is just money, but it has so much value that it is the equivalent of us going hunting for food in the wild and then someone saying, hey, I'm going to take 70%. Oh, I thought we was in this together. Shouldn't it be 50-50? Yeah, well, the courts around us, the elders said that, I should get more. Wait, but I went out and I did the hunting. I went out and I did this, regardless of how much money you think it is, or what is money, or how much money these men think. It's their money. Doesn't matter if it's six figures, seven figures, five figures. It's their money to they earned it. So when it's disproportionately given elsewhere or taken away from them, be it child support or divorce or alimony, whatever, disproportionately, not fairly, but disproportionately, then yes, we're going to feel some kind of way. That's simple.
Dang. Go ahead
So
and
I was gonna.
just stay
Can I
working,
can I say
ladies.
something?
I was
Can I
about
say
to
Stay
say
working, ladies.
that, but then my
Because
thing is, if you feel just that way, then if those other aspects, alimony or whatever, weren't in place, that means then technically she wouldn't get anything because you feel like she isn't worth anything if those other
I didn't
aspects
say
weren't in
that.
place.
I didn't say that. I say you missed it. I said unjustly. We don't have a problem with fairness. It's not fair. It's disproportionately in favor of one. That's just the way it is. Courts, marriage court, child divorce court, child support. I've talked, man. I wouldn't believe it. I don't just go based off what they show on social media and stuff like that. It reaffirms it. But I actually talk to these men, even the guys who go to church. They're coming in broken. And my wife took everything. My kids, she took the kids, and he's going through it. He's looking for God because he don't got nothing else.
Yeah, but
But
wouldn't
women
that
don't see it
also
because
kind
it's
of
not
deal with the
them.
person that you dealing with though? Because I mean, you can
exactly.
have a conversation and revise some of that
Definitely.
as well. I'm just saying.
I think that the bottom line is that it's all a chance. Anything you do
Yeah,
Oh,
is a chance. If you go to school and get
gamble.
$100,000 worth of debt, that don't mean that you're gonna get a good job.
very true.
My
Yeah.
thing is you
It
gotta
work.
find and I've been divorced. I've been divorced. I gave somebody half for equity and they only spent a year in the house and
Do
didn't pay no
anything.
bills.
That's
I
the
paid child
unfairness.
support for 18.
Hold on, who was that little man cutting up? Who was
You're like, let me
Here
get
we
on this
go.
conversation. Wait, wait, wait.
little man said, "Let
Right.
me
So
get in this
You
conversation."
got something to
so
Right.
say.
at the end of the day, I mean, I value marriage and I did it again. I got way more money than I had then. But my wife is an asset to me. And so it's a chance you take. It's a chance with anything. So my thing is you just better try to vet as best as you can and make her where she's valuable to you.
Cross your fingers and pray and hope
So
for it
And
not to
well, yeah,
happen.
you gotta cross your fingers about everything, bro. You gotta cross your fingers about having a
Man,
child. You gotta cross your fingers about this job market. Anything is a risk. Anything is a risk. So you saying, so I mean, but if you got a defeatist mindset, I don't have a defeatist mindset. I figure like shit. She leave me and take everything, I get it again. That's how I get down.
but you really
If
you
she
do
leave
know
and
that
take a
it
thing, I will
destroys
get it
most men.
again. And I only hear this conversation, and I'm not speaking about you, Joseph. about men that don't really have a certain amount. I don't have these conversations with my wealthy friends, my rich friends, and they have way more to lose than we do. You know, you talking about a couple thousand. I'm talking about millions. Their wife is valuable. That's family. So the chance that they take to have a family and a legacy. So you got to understand something. Rich men don't have no baby mamas. They have wives. They don't. Now they'll get divorced, but they'll marry again. So I understand what men are talking about, but at the end of the day, everything is a gamble. Either you want it or you don't. So if you don't want to get married, don't get married. If that's the case, then don't ever get married. Don't have no kids. Ain't nothing, no guarantee. Ain't no guarantee. People can wake up tomorrow and be like, I don't want to be with you.
That's true.
You can do that. You can say, okay, I love this woman, and then you meet somebody else and you leave her and leave. I mean, it go both ways, bro. These women are saying too, well, you know, I was with this man all these years, and he met some little hot young thing and left me with these kids. And so it go both ways. There's women out here saying that same thing too. I done had these babies. He gonna leave me for this young girl. And you know, I was with him when he didn't have nothing, and now he this and that and the other, and now he gonna give it to this little young bitch.
That was the point I was gonna make. Sort of piggybacking off of that, right? Like, imagine that though, right? Like for like Joe's point, like a man's provision is important to him, and you guys have spent the time to build a career, and you've spent the time to, you know, to build up, you know, what you have and your assets and your portfolio or whatever that may look like for you, and that's important to you because that was your hard work. A woman's currency is slightly different in a relationship. I mean, and let you guys tell it the parts that you care about is slightly different. So when a woman has built herself up to a certain point where, you know, she's ready to be a mother, she's ready to be a wife, and she's ready to take this particular season in her life, whether that's in her 20s or her 30s or whenever she settles down, especially if she's in her 20s, like if she settles down when she's still relatively young and she begins to, you know, become a wife, become a mother, that's her penance, right? Like that's her sacrifice. Those things are important to her. She can't get them back. Like she can't go get her youth back. She can't not be a mother ever again. Like those things can't be rewound. Like you can't go back after that, right? So if I've spent this time with you and I've developed this life with you and here we are now, whatever goes, if I decide to leave, you decide to leave, whatever the case may be, she can't get that back. I can't go, you know, it's not like getting a better job and making more money or, you know, making a few great trades and, you know, earning your money back or things coming back around for you. Like that kind of stuff. She can't do that with her currency because her currency that she brings to the relationship is different. So what I'm saying to you is, as men, I want you guys to at least be able to understand that there is a risk level involved for her as well. And there is no, you know, she can't recoup her currency. She can't it doesn't work that way, right? So if a woman is saying, I'm doing this, and I understand going into this, that once I give this away, once I make this commitment, once I do this, however long we stay in this, it is what it is at this point. Then I mean, I think that's why I say for men, like I hear y'all, and I'm not saying that the courts aren't, you know what I'm saying, unfair and don't swing towards women. None of those things I'm not disputing. I'm not even trying to argue those things. I'm giving you a different perspective because I think sometimes when you are in it, you're only thinking about what that means for you. And you're not thinking about the fact that there's risk on both sides. And you're not thinking about the fact that, you know, just as important as your currency is for you, her currency is important to her too. And here's another layer to this. Women, you know, this is kind of the argument that women are making when they're like, no, I'm not giving up my career. No, I'm gonna work too, and I'm gonna make my money, and I'm gonna be in my bag, and I'm gonna be about my business too. Because for men that have this type of mindset, she's like, I can't risk not working with this man. I can't take that risk because he's not gonna take care of me if something go left. He doesn't value what I'm bringing. I need to take care of myself. I need to make sure I'm good. Because if he don't want to, if I just try to rely on this man 100%, and this is his attitude, I might be SOL out here. I might be down bad out here. So I'm gonna work. I'm gonna work just as hard as he working. Yep, somebody come get these kids. Somebody take care of the kid, nanny, manny, whatever, whoever. Because I'm wet. And see, we gotta understand that mindset. Some of this, when women are saying that, understand why some women feel the way that they feel. Understand that, you know, some of this I'm not going to give the women a pass. I know there's some other layers here. But for some women, they are afraid to be put in a position where they have to rely on a man, especially if that's his attitude. They're like, nope, I ain't doing it. So I think that if we're going to have these conversations, we have to be honest about it. Like, there are some women that are concerned to rely fully on a man because of situations like this. And a woman who relies fully on a man, a woman who does decide, okay, I'm not going to work. Okay, he said he's going to hold us down. I'm going to hold the home down, hold these kids down. You know, this is what I'm going to do. That woman, yeah, all of that stuff that the law allows, if that ever happens, she will be out there down bad because she ain't working. She hasn't been working. She ain't got no job. So what is she supposed to do when y'all dissolve the marriage? If there's no alimony, if there's no splitting, if there's no half, if there's no. So you can understand why some women are out here like, nope. Oh, I'm going to work. I'm going to have a career. Because y'all out here talking about y'all don't want to pay for this, y'all don't want to do this, y'all don't want to do if y'all leave this, that, and the third, she needs to sign a prenup, all this other stuff. Like, it's cool. I get it. You're trying to protect yourself. But some of these women might be feeling like, well, if this is the climate, then I need to protect myself too. Yeah, if that's what it is, and that's what it's gonna be, then when you run across one of them women, don't be talking about, oh, she masculine, oh, she this, oh, she that. Just saying.
Bruh.
You can't have it both ways. You can't have it the way you want it to.
I agree with Chloe, and I think that, you know, just like, you know, women, we can't have it both ways, guys. If we want a feminine, nurturing woman, it can't go both ways.
Hold
you
on,
can't have
Vince.
all that.
Can I say this?
Hey, everything got a cost, brothers. And you're going to
No,
pay on the front end
I
and you're going
feel
to pay
you.
on the back end.
I
So
feel
don't
you.
think
Hold
you're
on.
going to talk all. You
Hold
can't
that
have it
thought,
both
Vince.
ways.
Hold that thought. We gonna touch that. Hold that thought. Go ahead, JR. And I'm gonna come back to Vince. Go ahead, JR.
I understand that, obviously, you know, in life there's always a cause and effect and whatnot, right? But here's the reality, and here's what it is. Men of today, we did not choose what it is today. We had to acclimatize to what it is today, and that favors the women. So how can we get questioned for being cautious, for seeing the things that happen right in front of our eyes?
Stop the cap.
So I don't understand how we can sit there and be like, oh, men shouldn't really be cautious about the way women are moving today. That just doesn't make sense. We see what it is out here. Like I always said, we've had to acclimatize to what they want. Now that we've chosen what they want and we've sat and said, hey, you know what? This ain't it no more. We're not going to do what they want. Now they don't like it. Like I always said, Men understand what it is, but we did not choose for the 50-50 or the equality that women wanted. That's what fell in both our laps. But the problem is that they lapped it up. We had no choice but to follow. We've always been screaming from the top, hey, come back on side, come back on side. And regarding the whole, obviously, marriage talk and whatnot, I understand what Miss Cole and obviously Miss Chloe's saying about, um, you know, women taking the risks and all that stuff. And I don't believe that if a man, you know, breaks up with his family, that majority of the men are gonna not want to look after their wife, ex-wife or the kids. And what I mean by that is that we don't want to go, like I always say, go into battle with the women. Let's both work it out. I want to give, but can we agree on that rather than that being taken away from me then given to you? That's what I
Stop
think
the
the men are
cap.
saying instead of let's fight over that, which then turns nasty, which then it's like she don't deserve this. I don't want to give her that. Da 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 da. And that's the wrong mindset for men to have, where men are thinking we want to take, want to take. What I'm saying, instead of that, can we work that out? Because the mother of your kids, yeah, she's going to need that assistance so she can look after your kids. Because if she's got the kids, she's going to need that help. That's what makes sense. Instead of not want to look after her and make it hard. And when she then becomes bitter and it doesn't want to, let you see the kids and put you in child support or whatever it is, you can't complain. So that's what I'm saying. We understand what it is. All I keep saying is, let's both work it out. Now, I understand that's probably me saying in the ideal world, right? But I'm saying, I believe that the bitterness or whatever it is that men have towards women is not directed to women. Unfortunately, it's women that receive that because we are in direct contact with them. So that's how it seems like, there's that fight. Whereas men should be fighting the other people to try and get that change. But I'm saying, as men, we don't want to fight. We're saying, come, let's sit down and talk this out instead of fighting. And if we can do that, we'll be in a much better place. And, these conversations that we're having, of course, it needs to be had. We should be talking about a lot of positivity instead of, you know, men not wanting to look after their ex-wife and kids because he's bitter over the courts or it's just
I got you.
it's painful. If you know what I mean, it's painful,
Yeah.
man.
No, I got you. I got you. As I said, you make valid points. I got to circle back to Vince, and then I'm gonna get Cole back in here. So I know Vince, you mentioned that that masculine piece and all of that. When we gonna just go and put this on the table? Because at the end of the day, folks know what they should be doing. Yeah, men know that they need to move like men. Ladies they know that they need to move like ladies. When we just gonna go ahead and lay this on the table and just hold cats accountable instead of making all these excuses, giving folks passes and doing all this. See, that's part of the problem as well. We be giving too many passes. Yeah, we giving all these passes out here, and it's like folks know what they need to be doing. Yeah, folks know what they need to be doing, but we continue to get these passes and then wonder why we see what we see. So let me go. I'm gonna put you on the spot, Vince. So when we gonna hold them accountable, man? At the end of the day, let's talk grown man. When we gonna hold them accountable, man?
You know what it is, Square? I think people are just absolutely insane. And I'm about to divest myself from it in 2025 because I have finally realized people are going to do what they want to do. Information is only good if you apply it.
Right.
There's plenty of information out there. People don't want to do it. They know what they don't want to. Men want to sit up here and complain. Get your purpose. Get your money right. You know, all this could be you lose it because you don't have an attorney. You don't have an attorney because you ain't got no money. And I hate to keep saying that. It's about you got to get yourself together as men. Get yourself together as men. And I think a lot of this would really not be a problem. And I say that because, you know, I told you I've lived a whole different life. And it's only because I really got myself together and got off that bullshit as a man.
Right.
I got really serious about being a father and a husband, you know, and I think it's plenty of information out here. People don't want to change, Quay. They want to keep doing what they're doing because they're comfortable.
That's real.
These ladies. I just talked to a 50-year-old lady that's dealing with a dude that's slashing her tires, and I'm like, you 50, you're not 22, still dealing with fools. And I'm like, really? People just don't want to change, Quay, because the information. It's not like the information isn't out there.
Right.
It's just like financial information. The information is out there nowadays. People don't want to do it. People don't want to save. People understand, okay, having a child out of wedlock is not a great idea. Having a child before I can really take care of it is not a great idea, but people still doing it. And it's, it ain't like it used to be when they didn't talk about it. It's 100 ways of birth control, and we still going in there raw dog.
That's real.
So I
No,
don't.
that's real.
I actually I don't know quite. I don't know. Just like I told you, man. I think it's gonna have to be like in the Bible. The Egyptians gonna have to just die in the wilderness. You're gonna have to need a whole new crop.
Well, no, so that piece I agree with, right? So to sum it up from that perspective, everybody ain't gonna make it, right? So I agree with that. Everybody is not gonna make it. But I still think that there are some folks who want to turn the corner. But to your point, they have to apply the information that's out there because it is out there. And I say, because at the end of the day, what I'm saying? We come on this show every Wednesday night to talk about these things, what I'm saying, to try to drop some jewels so folks will think about what they're doing out here and maybe move differently or make some different decisions. So even us, we trying to do our part, to affect some change. But no, you are right, though. What I'm saying? People have to decide to follow that route, or they have to decide to do something different, or they have to decide to come out of that insanity mindset of doing the same thing and thinking it's going to change, because it's not. But let me put Cole on the spot real quick too, because I said I think she's gonna add some value to this. So Cole, I got a question for you.
Okay.
So I know right now you are. I mean, can I classify you as a single woman?
Yes, you can. Glad.
Okay. I know.
It's not a joke, y'all. It's not a joke. I just said it's not a joke. Good Lord.
All right.
You ain't even let me get it out.
I'm gonna classify you as a single woman. So as a single woman in 2024, just keep it a buck, lay it on the table. What are y'all looking for from these men? Like what y'all need these men to do so y'all can go ahead and settle down and commit and get married and start y'all family. So what y'all need from these men in 2024?
Well,
Oh, Joe, she got the floor, Joe. She got the floor. I want to hear this. Lay it on the table. Lay it on the table, Cole.
so I would hope and pray for open and honest communication. And I say
Okay.
that higher on the list because there is so much going on with social media and everything else. I'm like, look, I don't need these opinions on what you didn't seen. I just need straight up conversation. Who are you as a person? Who is the person that I'm talking to? And honest conversation. So we can really get to the root and understand what the relationship would really look like. I think that is super simple, but it seems to be the most difficult. So
I got you.
that's pretty high on the list.
I know that ain't it. What else? I know that
It's
ain't
not.
it.
No, it's not it. But and that's like number 2 on on the list.
Okay,
On the
come
list.
on with it. I'm giving you the platform. Go ahead. I'm
Sure,
giving you the
sure.
platform.
So
Get off your
that's
chest.
that's number 2 on the list. If I'm looking at like the qualities of the guy, I mean, a mindset of wanting to. I don't know how to word this, but a mindset of wanting to build a home. Like I personally don't want a person that's just out here traveling, doing whatever. My mindset and thoughts with the guy that I'm looking for is someone that wants to be family oriented and wants to be in the home. Like I see you hopefully every day, if not every other day. And that might be due to work or some other outside festivity or something like that. But I expect you to be home. I
Right.
expect you to be home. I mean, those are the big intangibles on my list. What else you
So you
want to
want
know?
that man to be able to communicate. You want him to be. You want him to be okay. So you need
Present.
communication. You want him to be active in the home.
Present.
You want him to be present, right? Present in the home. Um,
I
okay. So
like I like that a
that's
lot.
not too much to ask for. So I noticed that money was not on that list. His height was not on that list. So
Track
okay.
size was
Because
not on that list.
I don't really have issues with necessarily height. I told you, as long as I can look up to him. And
Oh
there's
yeah.
that perspective is coming from a person who's dated a short guy, multiple short guys. So I my response to that is a person I can look up to.
I got you. Okay. All right. I'm not mad at that. And I think, like I said, I think that there's a decent amount of guys who have that.
Where they at? Because they ain't here.
Do
Sir. Sir. I'm telling
No,
you,
son.
East Coast is different. The mindset is different.
East Coast.
You muted
Huh?
right now,
Vince, what you say,
Vince.
Vince?
Your sound ain't coming through, Vince.
Now can you hear me?
Yeah, go
Uh-huh.
ahead.
I just talked to Remy, and she has a lot of single friends, and she said all her single friends are delusional. They want a unicorn. They don't. They feel like they don't want to settle. They saying, "Oh, I want somebody to travel with." He got to be 6'6" and 6. He got to accept these kids. He got to, or they don't know what they want. They want somebody like Malcolm X and Martin Luther King and Farrakhan rolled into one. Quay, you know what I'm talking about?
No, I feel it. I feel it. No,
They,
that's so that point you're making right now. So that's a valid point. Because that was gonna be my next question to Nicole. So based on what Vince is saying, so that's valid. So my response question to you, Nicole, was going to be: so once you find that, what are you gonna do for that, or what are you gonna do in return of that? Because I think that's where part of the issue comes in, right? So that guy, because Vince describes it as or Remy describes it as a unicorn. So this is this perfect guy. The ladies got this version of this perfect guy that they looking for. He got the 6, like Vince said, he got the 6, 6, and 6. He's 6 feet tall, got the 6 figures, got the 6 inch. He got all this stuff. So he this perfect guy. And I hear about this same guy on all the dating shows. He on Kendra G. He on Candid Convos. He on the Balloon Pop show. The same guy that all the 90%, 99% of women say they want. This same 1% dude. So once that dude comes into your space, what are you doing or how are you reciprocating for that dude?
Well, I'm definitely if that guy shows up, Lord, do you hear me talking?
Quay, you crazy. You lean there.
Lord, do you hear me talking? What he said? I hear him. What he said?
He's
Huh?
leaning in
I'm
the
just looking.
spot.
I'm listening. Go ahead. I want
Oh,
to hear what y'all
oh
doing.
yeah. So if that guy shows up, I'm definitely listening to the responses that he's saying about food that he like. I'm taking notes. You know I ain't lying, Quay. You know I
I'm
ain't
not.
lying.
No, no.
You know
I'm
I ain't
not
lying
calling
about
you.
that.
I'm not calling you no lie. I was just
Wait, you
about to
know I ain't
ask.
lying about that.
I was about to ask
Yes.
Vince. I was about to ask Vince. Is that enough? Is that enough for that guy,
I'm
that
taking
unicorn guy that they talking about?
I'm taking notes
But
on what he
but but
like to
but but see, the
do, all
thing
of
is,
that.
Quay. The thing is, Quay.
Mm.
He's not out there. You're going. If you want somebody, you're going to have to settle, and that's what women don't want to settle do. And it's mainly about the money because men don't move, and also women gotta understand, men don't move like women as far as that money is concerned. A woman will go put everything on a charge card to go buy a purse or go on a trip that she can't afford with 5 or 6 girlfriends and her rent ain't even paid yet. Men don't move like that. That's why men don't go on vacation. Cause we want to go on vacation and have peace of mind. Y'all don't care. Y'all go be broke and just have a good
No.
time, be taking pictures and everything, and know you ain't got your rent money for next month. Men can't move like that. So you gonna have to accept that $50,000 dude. He ain't traveling to Jamaica like that and buying purses.
See that
He don't
look? That
even,
look on their face.
and
You
they
see that
don't, they
look
don't,
on their face?
they
I didn't
feel,
say nothing.
and I kind of
I didn't
understand
say
because
nothing.
they have a lifestyle, and then also men can't really deal with the lifestyle, the ego, and it's difficult. It's complicated. I know. I
Hey
mean, I
Vince,
feel for them. But I
are you
think
saying that the money
that
part is
the
the most?
appreciation factor comes into play, and just be nice.
Look,
Appreciation, be appreciated, but that man they think they selling for.
I'm gonna
And
start lying
so
about my
Oh,
money. I'm gonna just say I'm broke. I don't know. I'm gonna just start lying. Quay, I'm gonna start lying.
You think that's gonna help your
you think?
prospects if you tell
Uh,
me, bro?
I get.
Vince, do
I
you
mean,
think
this
the
the
money
thing.
aspect is
This
the
is the
I'm
most
gonna just
thing.
start
This is
important
the
thing
thing.
lying.
right
I'm gonna
now?
start lying. I'm gonna
So I
put
think
all
this
my
is the
awards
thing.
up
So,
in
so
the
the so the dude that
back
y'all
room
say y'all looking for, he gonna want something from y'all.
for sure.
There's gonna be things he's gonna want in return, and at the end of the day, it comes down to if y'all are willing to give him those things in return. Because at the end of the day, we both want something from each other. Yeah, so he's bringing in what he's bringing in. So if he's saying that he's bringing that, then he gonna want you to give him something in return. There's got to be some value to you at the same time, so that's gonna benefit him. So I think that's the piece, and I think we get into that space, and it's like we almost decide that we don't want to do that, or yeah, I don't know what that is, but it's like it's a trade-off. You got to make a decision. Yeah,
So
you got to
Quay,
make a decision because that dude is gonna have expectations, and he's gonna want to have, or he's gonna have wants. Because at the end of the day, he done already put the work in. He done put the work in. He done got the money. He done got the properties. He got the cars. He got the assets. He got the investments and all of that. So if you coming into that, he gonna want something from you. Just keeping it a buck.
So what? I guess
oh, so y'all talking about the money
in your
part.
thought, what do you think is the fullest that they want?
well, I
The
can say
My bad.
first of all,
Oh
also
yeah,
I can say that time is a big factor too, and I'm seeing that too because a lot of these men, they got grown kids, they want your time, and I know when I was dating. That wasn't always the case. You had to move around. You got to drop kid off there. I got to make an appointment to get a date. I'm not doing all that. I got to have somebody want to, come on, let's go. And a lot of women, you have these kids and these careers, and you can't just go. A guy want. Once a guy gets to that level, he wants your time. He want to spend time with you.
So let me
Some
add
women
to
don't have
that.
that time.
So I think that dude that y'all saying that y'all want,
hmm
he wants all of you.
What
See,
does that
that's what
mean?
y'all don't want to give up. He gonna want your time. He gonna want your attention. He's gonna want you supporting what he's got going on. He gonna want y'all to cook. He gonna want y'all to, just be blunt. He gonna want y'all to sex him right. Like, he's going to want all of you. And that's typically the piece that y'all not willing to give up, because y'all feel like at that point he controlling y'all. So y'all just want to give him bits and pieces. You don't want to give him all of you, but you want all of him.
You preaching, not Quay. That's it right there. That's it. You said something right there. That's it. That's it. Mm-hmm.
No, I think it's
That's
just
it.
that
You
simple.
got it.
I think it's just that simple. He wants all of you, but you don't want to give him all of you because you feel like if you give him all of you, you somehow losing something. or essentially in your minds, correct me if I'm wrong, in your minds, you giving him all the power.
Oh, that's it. And he will have the power.
And that's all it is.
That's interesting.
Those dudes be all around y'all. Yeah, but y'all not willing to give that piece up. And that's why that dude is not going to engage on you, because he can tell you're not willing to give that piece up.
Mind, body, and soul.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Nicole.
Yeah.
I didn't say he was wrong. I was just thinking. I'm like,
my God.
I didn't say he was wrong.
I'm just keeping it
I
real.
didn't say he was wrong.
Yep, I'm just keeping it real because that guy's he done put that work in, so that's how he moving. It is what it is.
Are you talking about what a woman has to sacrifice, or what she would have to give in return for that ideal 666 guy you was talking about? Are you talking about in that
I
context?
swear
Or
I don't believe in that. I'm sorry. I don't get me personally. I don't understand. Okay. I feel like I'm a unicorn myself. I would just say that because half this popular shit I don't agree with or I don't align with whatsoever. So this 666 shenanigans doesn't make sense. You know why? Because for me, you're missing emotional intelligence. So the last six ain't gonna make sense if you ain't got no damn emotional intelligence. But again, that is me. It don't make sense to me.
so
It don't make sense.
that's interesting. Do you disregard all of the other aspects that makes that man exceptional and say, well, he doesn't have emotional intelligence, therefore it's null and void? I'm pretty sure the other aspects supersede the emotional intelligence that you say a lot of women want, because as a guy, I'm yeah, I shouldn't. I should say I don't think it's the emotional intelligence will be like a bonus for most women, for a majority of them. It's kind of like,
Maybe.
oh, he doesn't have it. We can work on that. I choose to do it. So these are things that I'm just being honest. They're not. It's not like a great. It's not this great requirement. It's the initial. Whoa, he's tall, and then it's whoa, he's handsome. Whoa, he has muscles, and the money actually comes dead last. Men who rely on the money, you can be broke. We've seen the prison guys. It's not. That's nothing. The money part is something that a man realizes. Oh, I can just do this for myself. It's a bonus. But if a man is exceptional in other areas, their emotional intelligence, even his money, is not that big of a factor like you think it is. I choose to make money for me. I choose to have emotional
Yeah. Again, you talking to a person that's a bit of a unicorn, so no, I need the emotional intelligence
You did say
because
Okay.
I believe that carries on in other areas. I believe that carries on to maybe how they probably parent and how they are in the home, and then how they consider our personal time, as opposed to okay, I just made my money, I did my shit for the day, then I'm out. Hell no.
Yeah,
No,
so
no,
that
no, no.
okay, so just to correct that, so that guy that y'all talking about, he don't think like that. He don't think like he just got his money and that's it. He don't think like that. He thinking about everybody. Yeah, that's the difference. Going back to, video number, I think that was video number 2, where my man was saying she mine. And basically I'm locked in, so forget what these other chicks talking about. The power in that video was the fact that that man was saying that he knows that situation is about more than just him. His lady is in that situation. His kids is in that situation. So let me just be blunt. F my happiness I got a family that I'm taking care of and I'm looking after people. So my happiness, I can deal with that later. But as long as my family good, my wife good, I'm good. So that's the mindset that man in video number 2 was taking on. So, I don't know why the host couldn't understand that. But as a man, I knew exactly what he was saying, right? So the happiness thing, we can throw that out the window. My family good. My wife, she rolling, doing what she do. My kids over here smiling, playing. They got what they need. So I'm good as the man, right? So that's how men look at it. But let me put Chloe on the spot real fast. Let me put Chloe on the spot. She been getting up out of this argument. So Chloe, why you think these how do we get these young ladies to let me phrase this the right way, because I don't want to pop it off. I know we got to get up out of here in a minute. How do we get these ladies to understand that they got to give it up?
What is that?
All right. Can you give what up? What's the it?
How do we get the ladies to understand that they're going to have, in order to secure the man that they say that they want, they're going to have to give that man what he wants? I think that's the battle. They are fighting giving up because they feel like they giving up
control.
They're giving up their accomplishments, right? Or they're giving up control.
Yeah.
So how do we get the ladies to understand that they're going to have to give it up to secure the man that they continue to talk about, that they say that they want?
I mean, I don't really know how we get there. I don't know how to get there because I know I'm being dead serious. Like, I don't know how to get there because we've come so far from the essence of what a traditional, if you want to call it that. I know we throw that word around, but we've come so far from what the traditional value system is. We'll just say value system, right? Because we're all modern at this point. We all living in a modern world. We're modern people. But the concept of traditional, the value system of a traditional relationship, we come so far from that we're having conversations now about men, being concerned to the level of not wanting to get married because divorce is a real thing. It's a real reality. So now we're talking about men being concerned about that. We're having conversations about, a woman feeling unhappy in the marriage and then wanting to leave the marriage. We're having conversations now about a man not wanting to take on other children outside of his own. Conversations that we're having now muddy the waters. It's really hard to get people in a mindset now of doing it the quote unquote right way, even though the right way really is just doing it the way in which you have a value system and a high moral code behind it. I think that's the only right way, because the right way is going to look different, a little bit different based off what your situation is. Everyone's situation isn't the same. So the right way for me being that when I got married, I didn't have children already. That was not a concern. I wasn't bringing other children into the situation. I was younger. Like, I had had as many experiences. So the right way for me looked a little different than what it might look for the next person, because their situation and circumstances is different. But I think we need to get back to just honoring the traditional value system and adapting what was the moral code that kept us all from fighting at each other about things like, what are you bringing to the table? I don't want to give up control. These types of conversations wasn't being had to this extent, right? Because everybody kind of understood their roles and understood what they were supposed to be doing. I think also the other individual knew that their role was valued. Men knew that their role in the family was valued. It had more value. Women knew that the man understood that her role in the family had value, whether she worked outside the home or not. He understood what her value was. Therefore, it wasn't a risk factor for him in that sense of, because he knew that she was bringing with her these particular things that I need to have the kind of life that I want to have. So it's not even a conversation of whether or not I'm going to take care of her regardless, because I'm going to do that because that's what I'm supposed to do, right? But we've added all of these other elements that muddy the water. So now women are concerned. Well, he don't want to do this. He don't want to, this is happening. Can I trust him? You know, is he financially secure? Did he have a father in home? Does he know how to be a man? You know, does he know how to emotionally regulate? And I think we need to stop saying emotional intelligence and start saying emotional regulation, meaning that you understand what being angry, but you don't respond out of anger. You understand what it means to be sad, but you're not suicidal. You understand what it means to be happy, but you don't expect to be happy every single moment of your life, because you know that's unrealistic. So we need to start having those types of conversations and get on that level of understanding. And then maybe we can get women to understand your role is valued and it's this. Men, your role is valued and it's this. And until we can get to that point, I don't know how to go from here, because women have now been put in positions of power and control. And society has perpetuated this. It is true. And so now that women have been put in these positions of power and authority and control in society as a whole, they're not trying to give that up. They don't want to. So, you know, they're not in the same way, because they have now been given an inflated value in society. They don't value men the same way.
Right. No, that's valid. But see, that I think part of that problem is that doesn't translate like that. So you may be given this position of power in society, but that does not translate the same way into a relationship. Yeah, but I think that's the challenge. Yeah, that's where the challenge comes in. So just because you got this director title at this company, don't mean that you the director when it comes to a relationship. That doesn't translate the same way. See, once again, we back to that money. Yeah, that director title at that company, that just got you a certain level of money. But that's not what that translates into in a relationship. See, a relationship, lead the company over there. Yeah, leave your title over there, leave all of that over there at the company. That ain't got nothing to do with me and you in this house, you know, pulling our little resources, of me paying the majority of the bill, me paying 90 and you paying 10 or whatever. That don't have nothing to do with this. Yeah, but I think that's where the waters get muddy.
But
yeah, we want to take. Go ahead, man.
But Quay, it's hard to do that when you're valuing that.
Right.
Men value making money. Men value being a CEO of a company. Men value that. Women are starting to value that. That's why they lead with it.
Right.
They don't lead with their femininity. They lead with what they have.
Right. That's what I mean by the value system being off, and us returning to a traditional value system where a woman is valued, her value is innate. She doesn't have to go out to be a certain position or have a certain amount of income to be valued, because her value is innate, right? Men knew what a woman's value was already. And women knew what a man's value was. He didn't have to prove himself like this particularly or like that particularly, right? So I think that's the issue, right? Our value system is out of whack. What we value now is out of whack. What we prioritize is out of whack. So because of that, now a woman, she's gonna want you as a man to value her the same way she feels she's being valued in society. She's gonna want you to see that same thing. If she's a college educated, you know, girl got it going on, then she's going to want you to look at her at a certain way and treat her a certain way, because she feels as though she has a certain status. Now, obviously, that's not every woman, but we're talking about in general, the general feeling that women have. And when you have that type of attitude, how do you break through that? What breaks through that, right?
And how is it possible to even make that switch that Quay was talking about from being this high powered CEO or whatever, and then go and do the opposite of that? When you spend the majority of your time in an environment that demands you behave in a leadership or in a dominant position. I
So
can
to that,
imagine how that's going to be.
right. So
That'll be
I'm
like
a,
me switching, going from being what I do, and then going to be super nurturing and soft and feminine, and then having to switch back and forth. That would be drawing to me. I don't have to struggle with that, but I see a lot of women who try to play both roles. I'm like, man, that's tough. I don't know if I've seen it work successfully, but I've seen a lot of women try.
Go ahead, Cole. I want to hear it.
so I would just say that I think my response right now is probably unpopular, but my experience from the non-black directors that I've seen, those that I still am connected to and those that I'm not, they still got husbands. And one that I know
Facts.
that was a mentor literally told me, she said, "You know what my husband does for me every morning when I get up? Makes me breakfast. And you know what he does when I get off work? I see him because he comes and picks me up." So I think one, this power dynamic does not really apply to black women, and also it's a culture issue.
What you
I
mean the
don't
power dynamic don't apply to black women? In what terms? How you mean?
like you having to have. I'm trying to figure out if I can word this right. I think this power dynamic issue to me
Mhm.
is only kind of applying to black women
Okay.
because
Um,
culturally I've seen people with higher roles and also have husbands.
Mhm.
And an underlying corporate culture is that if you are a female in an executive role, you are showing up with your husband. You
Mhm.
aren't talked to unless you are perceived to have a spouse.
Mhm.
interesting.
So why do you think? Okay,
So
so I agree with you. I agree with you because I've known some women um, who are executive level outside of um, our community. These are from women from other communities, and you're right. They do have husbands,
like Indian women
and
ain't a
some of
problem.
their
It's
husbands,
accepted that they're smart and that they have
yeah,
director levels, just
and
like the
their
guys. It's not a
husbands,
problem.
right? But here's the thing, though. So in some cases, their husbands, as a matter of fact, the two cases I'm thinking of right now, their husbands both made less money than them, and one was a stay-at-home dad. Okay, and these women were okay with that, and it didn't stop them from respecting these men
Hmm.
and holding these men in a high regard. So we got to talk about it because this is something that black women struggle with.
Yeah.
Black women struggle with seeing a man, and that's why I say society kind of perpetuates this narrative.
Hmm.
Black women struggle to see a man who isn't on a level that they feel he should be on in comparison to where they are. They struggle to have respect for that man in his role
Whoa.
as the leader of the home. Whereas some other cultures will accept that and be
Right.
more open to that. As Black women, we have been told by society, we have been given the narrative that the Black man can't do nothing for me unless he is 6'6" and 6, unless he is exceptional. He cannot do anything for me. What do you think this whole concept of he got to be this or he got to be that or he got to be 6'6"? I know these are just numbers. These are just numbers, right? But
Hmm.
let's talk about what 6'6" and 6 represents. It represents excellence across the board. He's excellent in the way he presents himself. He excellent in the way he put it down. He excellent on paper, financially. It represents excellence. So the narrative that is being pushed to Black women is he has to be excellent. The only way a Black man can do something for me is he got to be the best. Otherwise, he ain't on my level. Whereas this may be going on in other communities. Maybe it is. I can't say it isn't, right? However, when I have come across these similar women like you're talking about, they are married. And a lot of times, because of the positions that they've gotten to, their husbands do not make the same money that they make. Do not. But when their husbands say, I need this, Are we gonna do this? They're like, okay. And that's what we're gonna do. That's the difference. We need to figure out why is that the narrative that we're being pushed. And we need to disconnect ourselves from that mindset because that's what's holding us back. At the end of the day, you're right. This gender role stuff, the way that it's being pushed to us, does not have to be a real thing. It does not have to stop people from being in happy relationships. Unfortunately, it is, though. And we got to figure out, why do we care? Why do we care as Black women if our man makes less than us? Why do we care if he's a few inches shorter than us? Why do we care? Because at the end of the day, our happiness is what matters. And if that is what matters, let's just go with that. If that's what matters, then that man could do that being 5'7", 5'8" or 9, making enough money to pay the bills, whether that's more than me or not. He could still be doing all of that. So I think that as Black women, we have to look at what's happening. How is this disproportionately affecting us? We got to start asking the right questions and stop arguing with each other, because we'll get to the bottom of this and we'll realize that maybe some of this stuff is being perpetrated at us and projected at us. And we could just simply choose not to accept it and do something different.
When you say it's a narrative, at what point does it become a choice? Like, for example, I could say that the rap music that we grew up on, I saw it, how it negatively affected our community. And then the guy who sells drugs on the street can say, well, someone's got to do it. He can say, well, I learned it from Tupac. I learned it from Big whoever. You can say that's a narrative. True, he's been influenced. But then at what point does it become his responsibility? At what point does it become his free will and him choosing that?
Once we validate it.
Right. I was going to answer. But yeah, a narrative. So saying there's a narrative doesn't mean that you don't also have to come in agreement with that narrative. Like, just because a narrative is being pushed doesn't mean that you don't have to come in. That's why I just said we could choose to say we're not gonna go along with it, right? So me saying it's a narrative is not giving someone an out. I'm just simply saying it's a narrative. I'm bringing awareness to the fact that this is something that gets pushed at us. And now that we know that, why aren't we saying, nope, not me, right? Because we can choose it.
Yeah,
we can say, nope, that's not going to be my reality. Nope. So you can choose. You do have a choice. The problem is, are we even aware that this is being done? Or are we just saying, oh, this is just kind of the way it is? It's not the way it is. It's not the way it is for everyone. Why is it that way for us? Mm-hmm. Why are so many Black people obese? Why are they saying the obesity rates are so much higher for us? Right? Do we have to agree to that? Do we have to go along with that? Do we have to walk that out? Does that have to be our reality? Nope. We can change that.
I think it's hard to avoid, because when you have McDonald's and Burger King and all these other, and you go to the fast or
but it's a choice.
It's still a choice.
But you said it's a choice, and it is. It's a choice.
It's a choice, but it's not a choice that, for example, I had to learn how to avoid the middle section and go to the meat section and go to the fruit section. It took years for me to relearn how to eat again.
But it was a choice.
But it was a choice at some point.
It's still a choice.
And
very
whatever.
hard to break that narrative or that
But it's
programming.
still a choice. So now wait a minute. We can't give an excuse in one area and say that people need to be held accountable, but then turn around and say, but it's very hard. It's very hard either way. It's very hard either way. We talk about dating and relationships and all of these things. It's a narrative being pushed, but you can still choose to go in a different direction. When we talk about the food that we're eating, you're right. Some of these places, some of these neighborhoods we live in are food deserts. You're absolutely right. But it's the McDonald's on every corner, but it's a food desert. You're absolutely right. But I've seen some of these women, let me just say this, and I don't mean no harm. I've seen some of these women with EBT cards, and they somehow find a way to get all the way to the Costco and all the way to the Sam's Club that ain't nowhere near them. It's nowhere near them. So you mean to tell me you could find your way to the Sam's Club to buy a bunch of the bulk crap that you buying and putting in your the bulk chips and all of the fruit snacks and the juicy juices and all of that you put in your cart, but you couldn't find your way to a Whole Foods, a Fresh Market, a Simply Fresh, or shoot, I even give you a Kroger. You mean to tell me you couldn't find your way to that? But you could find your way to the Costco that's on 96 in Middlebelt, and you live
Yep.
on 7 Mile and Puritan.
Well, and Gratiot.
You see what I'm saying? You found your way over there. So we're not going to make no excuses. It is a choice. I'm not saying that it's not going to take additional effort, but it's still a choice. We all have a choice to make. The problem is it's convenient, it's pleasurable, and we don't want to. We want to keep doing what we're doing. We want to do it how we're doing it. And that's just, it is what it is. It's in relationships, it's with food, it's with intimacy, it's with everything. Who gonna check me, boo? Men are even taking on that attitude.
I was trying to give you a way out. I was trying to give you a way out, but you
Nah,
went
we
deep.
Man,
too old for that. We passed that.
we gonna
So
stop right there. I gotta go ahead, Cole. Then we gonna no go ahead, Cole. Then we gonna take some closing. Go ahead, Cole. Go ahead.
So I get what you're saying, but I would say honestly, this is the story of my whole life, and I say that because Quinn and Chloe know me, and they both know what. I mean, they've known me for a minute, so they've known the hurdles to even get to this point. And even to get here, it has been a constant journey of conscious and strategic decisions and choices. And I believe said to Quig probably a couple weeks ago when we were talking about, finding the right guy, when he was giving me some feedback. I'm like, dang, I just did this. Now I got to do all this other stuff. And I didn't disagree with what he said, but I'm like, well, to that, I said, well, I feel like how the cards I've been given have been really much behind the finish line. So I'm just now getting to, or the starting line. Now I'm just now getting to the starting line. And now we're at the point where, okay, now she can make steps forward. That's how I look at it. And that's the honest truth. And I don't really know how to explain it except it'd be no other way other than accept that's what it is, based off what Quay said. So from that, I said, well, hell, that means I have to continuously make more conscious and strategic decisions and choices. And that if that's what it is to get my happy guy, then I mean that's what it is.
And that's what it
Smooth
is. It's
advice.
just that
Remember
simple.
that.
It's just that simple. At the end of the day, you already know I'm only gonna give you the real anyway. So it is what it is. But man, I gotta get us up out of here, man. This boy done got a little hot.
I'm still gonna drink my bottle after this. I'm just saying, I ain't open
No,
the
it's all good. My bottle about gone. I gotta take some clothes and we gotta get up out of here. Let me I'm gonna go across the top and the bottom and we gone. Chloe, it's on you. You wanna say anything before we get out of here?
I think I laid everything on the table. I have nothing left to say.
Yeah, no, the table has
I love
definitely been
y'all. Good
laid.
conversation.
For sure. Cole, you got anything you want to say before we get out of here?
In regards to the topic, can you handle an intentional man? I would say yes. I would say start with honesty and real communication. For real.
That's it. Simple as that. Appreciate that. Vince, you want to say anything before we get out of here, man?
Yes. Can you handle? I think we all need to figure it out a little bit faster, a little bit sooner in life to what we want. Then also change your mindset. You change your life. That's it.
Simple as that. Appreciate that, man. Joe, you want to say anything before we get out of here, man?
Can a woman handle an intentional man? I would say, yeah, if she wants one. Just that simple. If she
Okay.
doesn't, it's not her time to play. Then, hey, she wants to play the field, do your thing. But when she wants an intentional man, she'll find what she's looking for.
There it is. Appreciate that, man. JR, you want to say anything before we get out of here?
Yeah, thank you once again for having me on and chopping it with the panel. And yeah, kind of woman and an intentional man. I believe they can if the mindset is correct. And like I said 2 weeks ago, the point of entry is obviously sex. So ain't really gonna go too far, is it? So yeah, I mean, obviously Miss Chloe as well. Obviously, whenever you got the time, if you're on the treadmill, taking the dog for a walk or whatever, just type in Fiona Hall on YouTube, something a box park. She just just a YouTuber from the UK, and there's probably a familiar face that you probably see on there, a lady called ZZ Mills, and just if you got, like I said, when you got time, just it's like an hour long, just listen to it and just listen to how that lady is talking, and listen to the guy to her left on how he's trying to respond on what it is today, and that's why I said the mindset. If the mindset is correct, we're gonna move forward. But unfortunately, over here right now, across the pond, it's very hard because like Mr. Vince said, you can't save everyone.
That's
But
real.
strange.
That's
You may
real,
have
real.
redeemed yourself for last week. That's awesome. 3
No.
hours, that's a world record for you, my friend.
Well, man, we done let's say we done had some shows in the past. I said we've been doing this for some years now. So we done definitely had some long ones. I said it just, like I said, at the end of the day, I appreciate a good conversation. So this conversation got real because at the end of the day, that's the only way that we're gonna turn this stuff around. We gotta get real about it. Yeah, but at the end of the day, we gotta make a decision. Yeah, we saying this is what we want. We want A, B, C, D, and E. But at the end of the day, that person is going to require some things from us. Yeah, so we got to make a decision if we are willing to do that. If we're not willing to do that, then stop looking for that person. Yeah, that's not the connect, that's not the match, that's not the plug, however you want to say it. So we really got to be honest about that thing. This person that we continue to say that we want, are we willing to give that person what they want? If we're not willing to do that, then stop talking about it. You're wasting your time. So yeah, the quicker we keep it a buck and keep it honest and lay it on the table, the quicker we're going to see some better results and some better outcome versus what we're seeing right now. Well, man, shout out to my panel. Shout out to Chloe. Shout out to Nicole in the building, Joe in the building, JR. Shout out to my guy Vince for holding me down on the panel. Can't do it without y'all. Appreciate y'all holding me down. Shout out to everybody in the comments in the comments as well. This is Kandid Konvos. We do this show every Wednesday night, 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. We go live on YouTube and Facebook, so definitely like, share, and subscribe. But man, hit that like button if you haven't already. Hit that share as well. We want to get this content out to our people so that we can move us in a better direction. But man, with that being said, everybody have an awesome night. We're going to catch y'all next Wednesday.